Hello and welcome everyone to BSL 15 Pro League Group A for the Asia region. I am Machine. Today joining with me as usual will be Zero on the observing end. Hope you guys are doing well out there and excited for some matches. We've got some good matches lined up for today. I believe the first match of the day here is going to be Zhanhun, which is a Chinese Protoss player that, I mean, myself has been pretty excited to see go through the past season of BSL, just this macro monster, going up against Nadia, who I'm a little less familiar with, but it should be pretty exciting PvP to kind of kick things off with anyway. But yeah, guys, we made it. BSL 15 here. We are getting kicked off. Hope y'all are doing pretty well. But yeah, here we go. We got Zhanhun and Nadia to kind of kick things off. As I mentioned, we saw some amazing games here between like Zhanhun and Ziki, Zhanhun and Gypsy last season. Man, he is quite the incredible Protoss player. And you know, hopefully here Nadia is gonna be able to put up quite an amazing challenge against him. Yep. So thank you all for joining once again. BSL season 15, we made it. We're still here. We are going to be casting the Group A brackets here for the Asia region. Asia obviously being like kind of a more dominant force, especially in the the last few seasons, I'd say, of BSL. China's really coming out to take a pretty strong position in this foreign battle of StarCraft hopes. And yeah, pretty much a lot of the who's of China, minus like me, who today is going to be playing JeDi, an amazing Zerg player that I always love to watch play. SoSo, kind of a old school American player living over in Asia. I hadn't really seen that name in such a long time. I had to like Google it just to be like, oh man, who is he again? And I think he even had like a Pimpus play in 2002. It's kind of amazing that he's still competing, qualifying, and playing in such a prestigious tournament here. So yeah, we've got a couple exciting best of threes today just to kind of start kicking things off. As I mentioned before, we're going to be opening this series up with Zhanhun versus Nadia. Yeah, exciting PvP with some obviously the exciting new BSL map pool featuring some of the more modern and some of the past favorites from previous WCGs in there, just like Longinus, which is really the map that kind of comes to mind for me when I'm looking at the map pool here, especially with so many Protoss players. But yeah, man, this is definitely going to be excited. Hope you all are excited to kind of get this season kicked off here. So, like I mentioned, Zhanhun, really the more memorable player to me. We got to really see him play on up to form last season. He had some very amazing series. And really did quite well for himself, taking 4th place the previous season of BSL. I even would have thought that he might have been the favorite going into the series against Ziki this last season, but Ziki absolutely putting a clinic on him in the 3rd place match of this last season of BSL. But of course, Zhanhun had some very incredible series before that, very dominant macro style, taking out some top players. So yeah, this is going to be game 1 here, going into Overwatch. Overwatch, a 2-player map. fairly standard. I think the notable aspects of the map would be there's a ramp leading outside the natural towards the center of the base, or center of the map. So it's kind of an easy choke point, contention point to defend. Kind of difficult to, engage there across siege tanks and lurkers, but obviously we won't be seeing those in this game. Yeah, I guess sounds like we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and get into game 1 of Zhanhun and Nadia PvP. Alright, and spawning at the top left corner of Overwatch as that blue Protoss, we have Zhanhun. And spawning at the bottom right of Overwatch as that teal Protoss, we have Nadia. So Nadia, I am less familiar with, as I mentioned. I'm not exactly sure what we can really expect, to see out of this player. But Zhanhun, from what we saw in his last performances throughout BSL, has a very standard, just stronger PvP. Even when he was going up against players the likes of like Boneth, I think the notable thing about his play was he just had more probes. Like the econ was really on another level for PvP, where you normally see, it's very common to skip so many probes and, cut things in order to get your tech a little quicker. We were still seeing like quite a robust economy out of this player. So we see a very standard gate gas opener here. Quick scout after gateway. Naida opting not to scout that early with the probe yet, so he's in a little bit of a dark, but that means he'll get a little bit of econ advantage by having that extra probe mine for a short period of time. Ooh, a little probe skirmish here on the ramp. Wow, okay. Naida kind of getting the better of that, I'd say, but it's only shields so far, so nothing really committed. First Zealot on the way for Naida, and as you'd expect, builds are pretty much optimized at this point. No deviation from either player other than that early scout. A Zealot out for each. When I think of this map, Overwatch, it's got quite a distance from main to main, so I don't expect these Zealots to really be able to do much. And yeah, we see Zhanhun happy to just kind of keep that probe out of the scout. Ooh, wow. Slips up that ramp. Very sneaky little probe there. Getting into the main. Sees no range yet, but range does just start now for Zhanhun. Nothing else really interesting going on. Just kind of scouting around with the probe. Same here for Naida. Oh, actually, even Zhanhun opting to leave with the probe. Don't see that super often, but it absolutely was going to die to that Dragoon, so maybe this could be a good call here. Ooh, Citadel down in the main for Zhanhun, so this looks to be a DT opener. Pretty common PvP. I would expect to see a Forge drop about the same time the Templar Archives drops inside the main. Naida, however, no, I don't think there's really a tech path that's been chosen yet. Might just be going for kind of a quicker Nexus. And yeah, Templar Archives is down for Zhanhun, so this is very much going to be a dedicated DT opener. And Naida kind of stacking some minerals here. Looks like he wants to put a Nexus down at the natural. This could be a little risky. He's going to need either, some kind of detection, right? Either Forge Cannon or Robo-Obs. I think the Robo-Obs would be a little late at this point, so we're going to need to, he's going to need to get that Forge down quite quickly in order to detect these possible DTs incoming. And yeah, we're not quite seeing that. Nexus is down though, so if the game continues, Naida will be in a superior economic position here. Nexus does go down for Zhanhun. That is still quite a quick Nexus after, you know, 1 gate DT, so this could be fine here for Zhanhun as well, even if the DT does get detected and taken off. Ooh, Robo. Okay, so there is a Robo halfway done. Interesting. He's choosing to kind of wall off this bridge. Ooh, maybe not. I was wondering if he could possibly delay this DT from moving across just by blocking the bridge, but nope, DT will move freely across. And let's see if he sees it. Ooh, he runs right past it. I don't think he noticed. Nexus is up here. Maybe if he can block this ramp a little bit, but, you know, like I said, I don't think Naida has really realized this DT is on the way. And here he goes. He is at the natural, just going to bypass that Nexus, get into the main, sees the Robo, Observatory halfway, Robo Support Bay halfway, and the DT is just going to start swiping. Second DT on the way. 3, 4, 5 kills so far. This is looking like a very strong position here for Zhanhun. I'm not even convinced that he noticed the DT in the main. Looks like every single probe just starting to get swiped, and yeah, there we go. There's the probe pull. Down to 15 probes. Oh, probes still going down at the natural. Observer about to come out. So this will eventually be stopped, but I'd say significant damage has unfortunately already been done to the economy of Naida. Oof, 17 kills. You don't like to see 17 kills on a DT. Oh man. Searching around for that DT in the main. Oh my gosh, it's gonna slip past to the natural. Okay, good blocking there with the Dragoon from Naida. Will delay that DT a little more, but he actually might get some more kills here. Oh my goodness. This is some serious damage here from that DT. Oh, Templar being rallied across the map though. That was a little bit of a mistake here for Zhanhun, but I think he can afford it at the moment. Probe count is looking massive here for Zhanhun. We have those Templars, probably Storm on the way, a few cannons. You know, he doesn't have the biggest army, but you don't need much with those efficient units like, you know, Templar, Storm. He's also got this bridge he can use to kind of delay the push slightly. Dragoon range on the way though, not quite done. So this is going to be Naida's one chance to really get some serious damage in, and here we go. 1 storm going down, 2 storms going down, and yeah, all of these Dragoons are quite bruised. Yeah, I don't think there's really a ton that Naida is going to be able to do to break in here. Does pick off the final remaining Dragoon, 1 rallying out of the gateway. But yeah, it's just too little too late. Good game is called, and Zhanhun take game 1 of the best of 3 against Naida with some, you know, pretty unique play there. It was really unfortunate Naida didn't notice the Dark Templar moving across the map. Maybe there was something he could have done to delay a little further, but either way, impressive game out of Zhanhun to start this series, and it was quite a strong start, you know, to a series like this. I feel like he definitely has the mental edge, if nothing else, going into game 2. But, you know, that being said, this will be Naida's map pick, so maybe he's got something planned, given the map pool, for PvP. We'll have to see, you know, which map he ends up going with here, and hopefully he can mount some kind of a comeback here, because if not, it could be a quick series here for Zhanhun. One and as you see, ooh, Ooh, it sounds like the next map is going to be Gladiator, personal favorite of mine. That was, you know, definitely one of the better maps back in the day. 4-player map, big open areas towards the center of the map with, you know, little high ground ridges, lots of gas bases. It's a great, you know, phenomenal map, especially for more of like a macro-oriented style, I'd say. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Naida picking a map like Gladiator says, to me at least, that he's pretty confident playing in some type of a macro game or a longer game against an opponent like Zhanhun. So yeah, it's gonna be a little interesting. We'll have to see what he has planned here. Naida, you know, really kind of getting the unfortunate, you know, disadvantage of that build in the last series, not opening, you know, with that early type of robo play, observer, or forge really is a risk. But, you know, when you're going up against a 2500 MMR player like Zhanhun, you got to take those risks, right? I think what he did was like pretty acceptable, getting that early second Nexus down, trying to get that eco lead advantage. So, you know, a little unfortunate things didn't go his way, but, you know, maybe he can get a little cheekier with this next game here. So Gladiator, 4-player map, as I said, quite large. You know, there's plenty of places to kind of spar and fight in the center of the map on this. Low ground main reaching to a high ground natural, which you know, can be quite difficult for matchups like PvT or TVP rather. But you know, either way, very interesting map. And sounds like we are ready to get into game 2 here. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. Alrighty, and spawning at the top left corner of Gladiator, it is Zhanhun. Oh wait, no, that's Nadia, I think. Okay. And spawning at the bottom left as the white Protoss, we have Zhanhun. So kind of close positions given the map. Gladiator is fairly big, so it's not like, you know, they're right outside each other's bases, but their naturals will be closer than they would be had they been, you know, cross map or something like that. We'll have to see what each of these players does to kind of adjust and react here. There is a low ground main, so I feel like heavy pressure play off of something like a 2-gate would be a little more favored on a map like this. It's, you know, even if you have the Dragoon advantage versus Zealot, you know, not having that high ground advantage feels like a big deal early on PvP. It's very easy to lose your ramp, or, you know, especially if the opponent does have a superior Dragoon count, so it's kind of a fine line you need to walk here. So it looks like we're seeing just one gate tech from both players here. Nothing too fancy or out of the ordinary. Looks like both players just wanting to get that core up, get quicker Dragoons as soon as they can. And once again, we're seeing this early probe scout from Zhanhun, but it will actually pay off once again here. You know, this is a 4-player map, but he's going to get the first scout top left, and he'll know exactly what's going on here from Naida. So yep, scouts the probe leaving the main. He knows exactly where his Protoss opponent is. Unfortunately, Naida scouting the wrong way, not that he could know, and will most likely end up scouting Zhanhun, hopefully after top right. A little bit of harass being done here. We haven't seen any pylons proxied in the mineral line just yet, but that's always an option PvP. Core done now for both players, and no range yet on the way, but we do see a quick Dragoon. Both players opting to skip early Zealot this game. Interesting. You know, I would have felt like I'd be... Oh, never mind. There is an early Zealot here for Zhanhun. So maybe Naida taking a little bit of a risk here, but it did actually pay off because there was no Zealot pressure from the opponent. Second gateway in the main for Naida. You know, this could give Naida a little bit of a window to put on some Dragoon pressure to the natural of Zhanhun. Range being upgraded. Okay, third gateway going down from Zhanhun, so this is looking quite good for Zhanhun, just giving their builds, you know, so far. More Dragoons, more better PvP. I think as long as there's no DT tech, that's really the only thing you're kind of worried about with a 3-gate opener. And obviously we know there is not... Whoa, what a probe scout. Barely slips in there from Naida, scouts the 3-gate. Well done. So now Naida knows exactly what he's going up against here. I wonder what type of reaction that'll force out of Naida. Citadel, immediate Citadel going down. Very, very nice here. This will probably... Oh, Citadel from both. Incredible. I was wondering if that would prompt like a robo for 3-gate obs, but no, he's just gonna go right into DT tech himself. Pretty, you know, that's definitely unique. I feel like I don't see that as often PvP. Zhanhun posturing to these high ground platforms in the center of the map. I like this. Naida kind of content with just sitting at the natural so far, has that 4 Dragoon count versus the 5 and a Zealot from Zhanhun. So I think Zhanhun knows he has the window here as soon as these last 3 Dragoons kind of catch up with his force. Starting to get into position. And here we go, engagement on the high ground. Good targeting from Naida so far. 1 Dragoon immediately drops 2. Ooh, wow, Naida. Very, very good control here. And yeah, he's absolutely going to push this out. Wow, only a single Dragoon left. I wonder if this will prompt a counter from Naida. And yeah, it looks like it. He's content with kind of pushing all the way into the natural. There are a few Dragoons rallying out of these gateways for Zhanhun. 1 more Dragoon falling. Zealot is down, and suddenly Naida in a really dominant position, pushing in here to Zhanhun's base. Trying to kill off these final 2 remaining Dragoons and get in the probe line. But obviously we know there is a DT in production here for Zhanhun, so this push is, you know, not meant to take this entire game, I don't think. DT is out. Won't even get on top of the Dragoons. He's just going full send. Wow, very nice DT block on the ramp. That will guarantee here that Naida stays alive in this game, which is exactly what he needs to do. Killing more and more probes. Dragoon rallying out here for Zhanhun, but that probe count is already down to 15. A couple more DTs rallying across the map here, and yeah, it looks like finally this push should be cleaned up momentarily from these DTs, but there's just no way this DT can get inside the main, unfortunately, against a hold position DT. And yeah, we even have cannons in the main. Naida knows exactly where he's at in this game. He's in a very strong position. He just can't lose that economy, and it should almost be game over. Probes being pulled out of the main. 1 DT swiping the Nexus here of Zhanhun. I really don't know what Zhanhun could do to kind of come back in this. He doesn't have the money to, you know, hide another Nexus or cannons anywhere. He's got no detection. He's kind of just dead in the water, it seems, at the moment. Probes are running around the map. That ramp is still blocked by a DT. Nexus going to be falling here shortly. And yeah, we just have this DT standoff on the ramp here. He morphed an Archon. And GG is called there. So wow, very nice comeback from Naida. Zhanhun, I would say even had the better end of the builds early on there. I liked his option to open up with 3 gate, but Naida's control, even off of 2 gateways, just really, kind of stomped that push in its tracks. Very good targeting there with the Dragoon micro versus Dragoon. And Naida takes the game in a pretty dominant fashion. Once again, that was Gladiator, and that was Naida's pick. So now Zhanhun has the option to, counter pick maps here. Before this series would have happened, I would have assumed that Gladiator would have been more so a map that Zhanhun would have, enjoyed to play on. But if you lose on a larger 4-player map like that, it starts kind of questioning, your intentions. It kind of questions your, your confidence for different types of builds. So I wonder if maybe Zhanhun would prefer to play on more of a 2-player map, so he can kind of get that guaranteed scout off early and maybe prepare a little better. But yeah, I don't know. It's been the series of DTs so far, PvP. This is, Zhanhun definitely knows how to rally out of a series like this after dropping a game. So we'll see if maybe we see more of a standard, like I'd like to see a 2-gate robo opener from one of these 2 players, just to kind of keep things standard and middle of the road, especially when you're down, or you're tied 1-1 at the end of a best of 3 series. You gotta, cut off all the risks at some point. All right, and the next game, the map will be Largo, 4-player map, pretty standard. Everyone's very familiar with the map. Obviously, if you're playing this last series of BSL or ladder. So it looks like we are ready to go and get into Largo. Here we go, Zhanhun, Naida, game 3. And spawning at the top right as that blue Protoss, currently tied up in this series, it is Zhanhun. And spawning at the bottom left side of Largo as the yellow Protoss, we have Naida. So 1-1. We do once again have another 4-player map pick from these 2 players. We at least get to see a different position this time. They'll be cross map on Largo. There's quite a bit of distance from the main to main on this map. So I would expect something like a 3-gate or even 2-gate pressure to maybe not be as effective given the positions here. We've seen a very early scout from Zhanhun every game, and that does not change here. Probe is already out of the main, scouting towards the bottom right side of the map. Single gateway is down. No gas yet for either player. Okay, now there will be a gas for Naida. And it looks like possibly a 2-gate here, so a little bit of a deviation for Zhanhun. I like it. You have to mix in 2 gates in this matchup. You got to be ready for zealot pressure. Little unfortunate that they end up being cross map, I gotta say. So we'll see how he ends up adjusting. but we do have a Zealot already on the way for Zhanhun. Most likely going to be putting some pressure towards Naida's way. Core down, gas mining for Naida. And finally we see that probe scout coming out. And ooh, see, probes kind of pass each other, and it looks like Naida might be scouting towards the bottom right position. So now Zhanhun knows exactly where Naida is, knows that it's cross map. He might elect to get a little bit of a faster gas and core now that he knows exactly where the positions are. Doing a little bit of harass with that probe as well. Dragoon first out of Naida. And 3 Zealots on the way towards Naida's base. Ooh, Pylon is down, just kind of being annoying with that probe, forcing some lost mining time on that Vespian Geyser, and blocking a probe in with that Pylon. So good control here so far from Zhanhun. That Pylon is usually a pretty big indicator that Zealot pressure is coming in, so I think Naida knows to expect these Zealots coming in, and yes, gets that Dragoon right back to the mineral line, pulling probes immediately. Ooh, gets a couple probes for his efforts here. And yeah, a lot of probes forced to be pulled from the single Zealot that already has 2 kills. So very good control. 2 more Zealots coming inside the main here from Naida. Now down by 2 probes in this game so far. And yeah, 2 Zealots just getting right on top of this probe line. Dragoon not doing the best job targeting, but 1 Zealot will fall here quite quickly. And wow, yeah, really good probe pulling from Naida. Showing some good control here and trying to minimize these probe losses as well as he can. Very nice. So Naida now down by 4 probes, it looks like. Mining was kind of disrupted, but he does likely have a slight Dragoon count lead. I think his 3rd and 4th Dragoons will be faster, but still, it's a long way to run on this map. Citadel down in the main for Naida once again, so yeah, this has definitely been the series of DTs, and Game 3 will be no exception here. Zhanhun, happy to just kind of sit on the ramp. He knows he's got that econ damage early on here. 4 Dragoons should be plenty to be able to safeguard his main. The question is, what is this going to be? Is this going to be Robo? Should be. I think it's going to be a Robo, and yes, we see the Robo facility is down. He still could not make observers, but I think that would just be a little silly given the amount of econ damage he did early on. Here we go, Dragoon count lead here for Zhanhun, and yeah, just kind of happy to sit back on that ramp. Naida not really going to be able to get the damage he was maybe hoping for. That is quite a quick Nexus though for Naida, trying to recover that economy as best he can. Ooh, a couple Zealots even on that ramp. I really like this. Because he ended up spending all that extra, gas that it requires for the Robo, for the Observatory. Just getting a couple Zealots to be a little more efficient, make sure he blocks that ramp properly. Good call here. And yeah, it looks like Zhanhun pushing out maybe with these 6 Dragoons, 5 Dragoons, 6 Dragoons, and a couple Zealots. Yeah, 6 Dragoons. Huh. Oh wow, Naida looking to do a possible little counter. He's kind of just trying to keep Zhanhun back from putting any pressure, it seems. I mean, if Zhanhun moves away with his army and allows the DT to run inside the main, it would be big trouble, but no, he knows better. Just kind of sitting back to that natural. We'll probably take a delayed expo here. And we'll probably push to try to kill Naida once this first Observer is out. So we'll have to see. Observer out just in time. Perfect timing here. And yeah, it looks like Zhanhun just going to steamroll across the map here with this massive force. Another DT hidden on the south side of the map. I would expect there's going to be some, yeah, Dragoons hold position on the ramp, second observer in production, and this should prevent the counter. But actually a DT paired with 3 Dragoons here could be a little bit worrisome. And here we go, big pressure coming in to the natural here from Naida, picking off that first Dragoon, high ground advantage. Meanwhile, Zhanhun putting pressure on Naida's natural. Definitely has the larger force. And yeah, just getting right on top of these DTs on the cliff. This Nexus is 100% dead. And at the same time, he's managed to clean up the counter-attacking force at his own natural, saving that Nexus, saving his economy, and GG is called there from Naida. So wow, well played. Very, very nice series here out of Zhanhun. I think he would have been considered the favorite given his placement, you know, during the last season, but takes a pretty convincing series 2-1. Hats off to Naida, though, as well, taking a game himself and having a couple other close games there in this PvP series. I think, you know, he did a pretty excellent job. But Zhanhun coming out the victor, and that means he will move on to the winners match to face the winner of our next 2 series. Yeah, so next up we'll be having SoSo versus JeDi. But before we get there, we're going to have a quick couple-minute break here. So stay tuned, grab some coffee, and yeah, let's get ready for the next one. All right, I'm back. Okay, sounds good. No, best of 3 is fine. After every best of 3, that's fine by me. Welcome back, everyone, to the BSL15 Asia Championships Group A. We just had a pretty amazing series between Zhanhun and Nadia, with Zhanhun actually taking the series in a pretty close 2-1. Up next, we're going to have a completely different matchup and a couple other incredible players out of the Asia region. It's going to be SoSo versus JeDi or Yeti. So, you know, this should be a pretty interesting ZVP. JeDi, you know, a pretty dominant Zerg out of China. I've definitely had the pleasure of seeing and casting quite a few of his games. I would say he's a quite an aggressive Zerg, so no matter what, we're going to be in for a pretty intense series here. And SoSo, kind of an old school player out of the United States, I guess still living in the Asia region. So kind of incredible to see, you know, some of these old names that are still popping up inside the foreign StarCraft scene. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting series to get underway here, I'd say. Really looking forward to this one. So we just had Zhanhun move into the winners finals for the group, and Naida actually moving into the elimination match to go up against you know, whoever ends up falling out of the SoSo JeDi series. But yeah, it still was a very close match. Unfortunately, you know, one player's got to move on and one person's got to crawl out of the losers bracket here. So actually, oh, never mind. I was thinking this was an American player. So JeDi, as I mentioned before, a Zerg player who I've had the pleasure of casting and playing and watching before. He'll be going up against another Zerg, SoSo, out of China. Wow, 1971. He's got to be one of the older players playing in BSL, I gotta say. He's definitely the oldest, so man, you gotta cheer for the old guys, you know. I think this is gonna be a pretty interesting little ZVZ here. And yeah, ZVZ, you know, should be kicking off. Is game 1 also gonna be Overwatch? I think it's gonna be Overwatch. Yeah, two-player map. For ZVZ, Overwatch, you know, you always like seeing the 2-player map ZVZ. There's just no risk involved. You know exactly where your opponents are going to be early on. So, yeah, this is going to be an exciting little ZVZ here for us. It sounds like we are ready to go. Let's get into game 1, SoSo versus JeDi. Here we go. And spawning at the top left, he is the 51-year-old Zerg, SoSo. And spawning at the bottom right of Overwatch as the purple Zerg, we have JeDi. Man, I had to do a double take there. 51 years old. Man, incredible. I still hope I'm playing StarCraft at 51. So, ZVZ Overwatch, you know, definitely a map where the naturals are not like the closest. I'm not sure how effective just a standard 9-pool speed or something like that would really be in this matchup on the map. Also because it's a 2-player map, and I mentioned this before, but First Overlords will always scout the opponent, so it's really difficult to get away with any type of tricky play like a 999 or, you know, even just like a 9-pull speed opener. But we do see a 9-hatch opener here out of SoSo. Meanwhile, this is just going to be a standard 12-pool opener out of JeDi. So you don't really see the 9-hatch as often in the matchup, but you can get a lot of Zerglings very quickly with speed with this build, and if it's not recognized, you know, it can actually be quite a quick win ZVZ. So SoSo opting for that 9-hatch at the natural. You know, maybe JeDi won't recognize it and might think it's something like a 12-hatch expo, in which case he could be in some serious trouble. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see here. So JeDi even going 12-pool hatch in main. That is also kind of a unique little adjustment. Normally, I feel like Zergs like to take the natural with something like a 12-pool, but this is actually just going to be a quick layer even. Wow, I really feel like this is a big counter to what SoSo's doing right from the start. He doesn't really have to spread his forces between the main and natural by putting that second hatchery in the main. It just makes it a lot easier to defend with Sunkens, which he'll absolutely need, versus this 999 from SoSo. And yeah, we already see Zerglings out and underway here for SoSo. JeDi's Overlord moving into the main. We'll see these Zerglings trickling out to the natural. So he's at least knows that some type of Ling pressure here will be coming early on. You see JeDi setting up the Zerglings on that ramp as well. Scouting with a Zergling, I really like this. And yeah, sees way too many Zerglings. Sees a natural with no drones. And he's got to, you know exactly what's coming at this point. Spire placed out to the left. You know, maybe it can get picked off. It's kind of, you know, wedged in there a little bit, so we'll have to see how that goes. But SoSo moving across the map with these Zerglings and looking to put some serious pressure on JeDi here. JeDi making nothing but Lings, it looks like. He realizes he's just got to hold this Spire. He's got the game won, but this is the fear with 999. It's just so many Zerglings. Here we go, JeDi moving up the map. Really good control, actually. Targeting down quite a few of these Zerglings, but it's just not quite enough. JeDi being very efficient, using the top of this ramp to hold this Ling pressure. And wow, incredible control there. But it's not done yet. You know, SoSo is still moving across the map with more and more Zerglings, looking to breach this ramp, break down the Spire, and yeah, we even see a drone. I love this play. He's going to try to get a Sunken down, but oh no, it's just in range of that Sunken, and the drone down to just 2 HP. Spire is up now for JeDi, and it looks like JeDi maybe even be looking to put down another Sunken as well. Sunken going down for SoSo. A little bit of a Zergling skirmish, but remember, now there's Muta on the way here for JeDi, so there's a clock on this timing here. 2 Muta, in fact. Starting to peck away at that Sunken. Sunken in the mineral line, now dealing a little more damage. Drones being forced to pull to that gas, and the first Sunken goes down. Second Sunken looks to be going down as well. And there's still a Zergling in the mineral line, possibly going to get some drone damage here. Big damage here from SoSo, and Zerglings still just constantly flooding in. Three Muta are alive though. Trying to get damage on that Overlord, but remember, there's no more Sunken, so JeDi forced to just try and hold off with these Muta and with these Zerglings here early on. SoSo's just kind of allowed to pressure with as many Zerglings as he can make. If he can continually pick off drones versus these 3 Muta, he can still win this game. Spire being targeted, but actually retargets onto some drones, and yeah, drones are still falling, so this is very much still very, very scary here from SoSo. Another drone being caught out here, it looks like. And every time these drones are being forced to pull, he's not mining. So yeah, the 3 Muta still alive, looking to pick off that single Overlord in the main. And yeah, Zergling's still just running in here, just wreaking havoc on this drone line, forcing a lot of lost mining time. Another drone falls. This is just so annoying to deal with as Zerg. I don't see JeDi being able to move across the map anytime soon. He almost needs just another Sunken, more Zerglings, or he can't, even though he has this Muta advantage, this tech advantage, he can't even utilize it. And here we go, Zerglings going into the main once again, getting on top of this drone line, 1 more drone falling, 2 more drones falling, and suddenly we're down to just 5 drones. Ooh, Ling counter though! From JeDi, gets inside the main and is starting to do some big damage to this drone line. Hydroden down in the main for SoSo, but actually this is just overwhelming numbers of Zerglings at this point for JeDi. It looks like he will be able to hold these counter, and actually this counter Ling has already managed to pick off 2 drones. So very nicely done here. From JeDi to, hold that onslaught of Mass Ling and get these 3 Mutas across the map. Oh, there is 2 Hydras out though, but Muta, usually fare very well versus these Hydra compositions, ZVZ. And yeah, I think this is pretty much going to be it here. JeDi should be taking game number 1 versus SoSo. And GG. Wow, very back and forth game 1. I kind of called it that it was going to be heavy Ling pressure out of SoSo with that 999. It is very much a strong pressure opener, ZVZ. But I think that honestly, JeDi not taking the natural expo with that 12 pool really ended up working in his favor to just be able to sit, hold his main, take hold of that tech, and just kind of survive with a drone count there versus SoSo. But still, well played from both players. But JeDi taking the lead in this series 1-0 at the start. So now it's kind of on SoSo to rally. Our 51-year-old Zerg player is going to get his map pick here for game 2, and showing hyper aggressive play with that 999 opener game 1. We'll see how he kind of adjusts to get ready for JeDi in this game 2 of the series. (1971), 51 years old, man. That's still incredible. That's the stat that's blowing me away here. But yeah, JeDi taking the lead 1-0. He's got youth on his side. He was able to just keep controlling those drones, whereas SoSo's figures probably got so tired by the end of that. And once again, we're going to have a Gladiator Game 2 pick here, it looks like, for SoSo. 4-player map, low ground, main, high ground, natural. I think even just being able to hold a natural on this map would be a mega advantage, ZVZ. If you do get pressured heavily, holding the ramps, or breaking the ramps rather, from low ground to high ground can be quite difficult, ZVZ, so we'll see how that kind of gets implemented here. But we are ready to go into game 2 here, SoSo versus JeDi, and yeah, let's get to it. Alright, spawning at the bottom left of Gladiator as the red Zerg, currently down 0-1, it is SoSo. And spawning at the bottom right as that teal Zerg, we have JeDi. Looks like neither player will end up scouting the other here at the start of the game. I feel like SoSo scouting the atypical way with his first Overlord. Normally you would scout towards the opponent's natural, but he's actually scouting towards the top left. Meanwhile, JeDi kind of scouting the appropriate way. It's just unfortunate that SoSo is not there. So we are not seeing an Overlord out of SoSo. So this looks to be a 9 pool or maybe another 9 hatch opener. Yeah, it looks to be 9 pool. I like it. I like it. 9 pool, a quintessential opener in ZVZ. It's kind of just well-rounded. You can get fast layer with it. Early Zergling pressure, speedling. There's just so much that can be done here. But once again, JeDi opting for that Overlord and a few more drones. And maybe this is going to be... Is this 12 hatch? Wow, this might even be a 12 hatch ZVZ. So yeah, 12 hatchery at the natural. Quite a bold opener here from JeDi. I believe that SoSo should have the build order advantage here. Usually with a 9 pool versus a 12 hatch, you should be able to cancel the natural with a lot of early Ling pressure, or at least be able to kill off a lot of drones that are trying to save the natural. So we'll have to see what happens here. Once again, unfortunately, SoSo scouting the wrong way with that first Overlord, but with deductive reasoning here, he should be headed towards bottom right, hopefully, with these first 6 Lings. So the Zerglings are out here for SoSo, moving across the map, and yep, it looks like he has moved towards the bottom right area of the map. Pool not even done yet here for JeDi, but it is getting quite close. Okay, we'll get spotted here with that Overlord layer on the way for SoSo, so this is not, heavy committal here. It's just 6 Lings early. But he might be able to kill, and yes, forces the cancel on the hatchery from JeDi. Creep colony down in the main, and Zerglings moving into the main, looking to try to get on top of this drone line. Already forced the sunken, and let's see if any of these Zerglings end up falling. And yes, he ends up killing a few Lings for his efforts here. Speed is done. Wow, that's very quick speed here from SoSo as well. But with that sunken, I don't think there's a whole lot that he can really get done, honestly. Should probably start droning a little bit. But we do see more and more Zerglings moving across the map here for SoSo. Second hatchery being placed down in the main from JeDi. And once again, he's got that sunken, so sunkens, especially in that position, it's pretty robust. There's not a whole lot of openings, for SoSo to really be able to do some significant damage. Looks like SoSo moving in here, trying to get on top of this Ling build, Ling army, but he's kind of just trading Zerglings off. It's not the most efficient. I don't know why he's targeting that second hatchery down, but those hatcheries are just so beefy. It's gonna be quite difficult to kill. Spire is on the way though. We even have a Spire on the way for JeDi though too. JeDi has a 2 drone lead in this situation. SoSo's mined slightly more gas though, which I would feel is a little more relevant. Ooh, good control out of JeDi, picking off a free Zergling there. And yeah, suddenly I think JeDi will be able to press out onto the map a little bit. Yeah, SoSo needs to just kind of spread those Zerglings on the top of the ramp. Only 1 drone on gas here with Spire. A little surprising. If he does this right, I don't think that JeDi should be able to break out of the ramp, but actually Wow, SoSo even pressing into the main here against these Lings, and JeDi just barely going to come out on top here. There's also 2 more Lings out on the map. 1 Muta already being produced here for SoSo. And yeah, okay. Efficient trade there once again for SoSo. SoSo stacking some minerals. Probably could look to expand here, but he definitely needs to move that Overlord out of the main. There's just, I don't know, he's just not being the most efficient with the resources that he has, unfortunately. And I think once these Muta get up for JeDi, SoSo's going to find himself supply block. But actually, 5 Lings moving into the main of SoSo now. This could be quite difficult for SoSo to handle. 1 Muta is plucking away at these Lings. Sunken even being morphed to try to prevent future counters. But we're only down to 6 drones is SoSo versus the 10 of JeDi. So big damage already being done here from JeDi, and their forces haven't even engaged. 2 Scourge moving in, looking to try to pick off the Muta. But very good patrol micro from JeDi, just kind of sniping those Scourge down. Oof, and yeah, there's not a ton of econ left here for SoSo. That Ling counter from JeDi ended up being very effective. 4 more Lings even moving across the map, looking to do some continual damage to this mineral line. And yeah, SoSo only with the single Muta so far. A couple Zerglings trying to hold the ramp, and Scourge being built. But yeah, JeDi moving in here with the Lings, doing a little bit of econ harass, and here come the Muta. Nice snipe on a couple of those Scourge, and yeah, that should be it. Final Muta falling here for SoSo, and GG is called. Wow, JeDi taking a pretty convincing series 2-0 against the old-timer SoSo. Pretty, entertaining match, especially game 1 with that 999 Ling pressure. I feel like SoSo was in a pretty dominant position there, and it was a good call. But JeDi, even after getting the worst end of the build orders here early on in game 2, still ends up, managing to pull it out on top. He just kind of has a little better econ management, I'd say. Good harass out of the Zerglings that he ended up producing, and yeah, takes the series 2-0. So he will move on to the winners match here, and he'll be going up against Zhanhun, who we saw in the first series. Pretty incredible macro-oriented Protoss that I think will test JeDi's mid-late game a little more. And meanwhile, SoSo will move on to play Naida in the losers match to determine who goes on and still gets to keep fighting in this bracket. Yeah, pretty interesting. I think Zhanhun JeDi is going to be quite an incredible match here between the two of them. Naida, SoSo as well. Little more unorthodox style coming out of SoSo. So we'll see what he ends up opting for to, and how Nader has to deal with it. But yeah, this was pretty incredible. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We can keep going. So I think we're actually going to be going into the next series here. It's going to be Zhanhun versus JeDi, or Yeti. So yeah, this is really the match I'm kind of looking forward to. JeDi more of your, standard aggressive, I'd say, Zerg player, and Zhanhun obviously has incredible PvZ, PvT, PvP So it'll be nice to see Zhanhun playing something, you know, other than his PvP matchup. I'm definitely excited for this one to see what JeDi is able to come up with to go up against a macro-oriented Protoss like Zhanhun. It's just going to take skill, honestly. Zhanhun's the kind of player who he's going to force you to outplay him. You know, just doesn't take big risks. He really just wants to grind out a mid-late game, you know, PvZ. And I think these are great maps for the matchup as well. So we'll see how this one ends up going. Alright, here we go. Game 1 will be Overwatch once again, that 2-player map to kind of kick things off with. Pretty standard. And yeah, it looks like we are ready to go, so let's get into it. Zhanhun versus JeDi, Game 1. Here we go. And spawning at the top left of Overwatch as that yellow Protoss, we have Zhanhun. Spawning at the bottom right as that light blue Zerg, we have JeDi. So, you know, before we watch this series, if, you know, just based on their last, you know, what I've seen of these two players, you'd have to say Zhanhun most likely is the favorite here. Now we see them all, you know, tagged up with the SBS tag, so they likely know each other and play each other quite a bit, I would assume. So each player here probably knowing what they're getting themselves into. We see a very fast pylon at the natural here for Zhanhun. Overpool in the main for JeDi. I like the overpool on 2-player maps, especially a map like Overwatch. You gotta expect this quick probe scout, you know, the natural to get blocked here. So this is kind of Zerg's well-rounded opener on 2-player maps. It allows you to get the Zerglings out fast enough that you can kind of secure a block natural, which is really what you're kind of aiming for in this matchup. You have to get that base up. You have to, you know, get some type of econ damage, or get some type of econ damage, I would say, if the base gets blocked. And wow, incredible drone control there from JeDi, getting that probe kill early on. That always feels good, I gotta say. You really like seeing that from a Zerg player. So 2 Lings in production here for JeDi. Probably knows this is likely going to be a Forge Expo, just given the early probe scout timing. And JeDi looking to take a third fairly quickly. Zhanhun on the flip side of the coin, Nexus already in production, cannon at the natural. Very safe, very standard play out of Zhanhun. Yeah, this is honestly exactly what I expected from both these players. Overlord moving into the main, kind of a odd scout path, doesn't even opt to scout the natural. I guess he just kind of assumes that, as he should, that, you know, it's going to be a Forge Expo and cannon will be up, which it is. Gateway in production. And yeah, JeDi has that third base on the way, gas inside the main. We'll have to see where this deviates. I don't think the yeah, I guess this could actually be a layer first opener given the gas timing. So this might be layer, and yes, we see layer going down in the main. 3 drones on gas, so this could likely be some type of a Spire opener here out of JeDi, which I like to see personally, especially against Forge Expand. Probes being transferred to the natural here. He's got that single cannon up, not really walling with any probes. You know, there's no probe out on the map either, so I feel like this is a bit of a risk from Zhanhun, but he might just feel like he can get away with it here. You know, a big Ling timing might have been pretty scary, and you know, he might have been able to kill that cannon off at the natural. But that's not what we're seeing here out of JeDi, so it works out in Zhanhun's favor. Zealot pushing out across the map against the couple Zerglings here from JeDi. Probably just looking to get some type of a scout off. I think he'll likely, you know, need to find exactly where JeDi's third base is. Spire looking to go down in the main here for JeDi as well. Overlord actually retreating out of Zhanhun's main. It's likely because he's already scouted the tech on the way. Second photon cannon down at the natural from Zhanhun. So Zhanhun opting to play just very conservatively. I like it. Drone count slowly starting to climb here for JeDi. More Zerglings in production. These Zerglings are really, you know, with speed, likely just to try to defend these possible Zealot move-outs, but Zhanhun being very, you know, conservative with the Zealot move-outs, kind of keeping them close by at the natural. Actually, I say that, and now he is slipping them up and around the top side of the map, so he maybe be able to get into the third base here and look to pick off a few drones. But yeah, we'll have to see. There is 2 entrances to this third base for JeDi, so we got to keep that in mind. And wow, actually the Zealot's just barging right into the natural here. This is scouted by these drones, but I think they're going to be able to disrupt some mining here either way. And yeah, drones are being forced to be pulled. Not a single drone lost yet, though. Good control here out of JeDi, as we'd expect. And Corsair picking off an Overlord at the south side of the map. JeDi is already up to that 5-hatch standard, you know, kind of opener here. And yeah, actually 2 Overlords being picked off at the same time. But remember, this is a Spire first opener, so there should be Scourge out on the map. +1 air being researched by Zhanhun, +1 armor being researched by JeDi. So I wonder if we'll go into that more mid-game mass air style of Zerg, which, you know, if you saw the Ziki Zhanhun series, it definitely came into play quite a bit, and was a strong way to deal with this incredible Protoss player. So single Muta is out. Lings pressuring these Zealots behind the natural. Zealots, I believe, got a drone kill, but that was about it. 3 more Zealots moving into the third here, looking to deny some mining time. Good drone drill here from JeDi, who does get a drone for his efforts though. But yeah, big pickup here for Zhanhun, just being annoying here. We see that 44 probe count, which we always say in this matchup. That's really the optimal probe count for 2-base Protoss. So just, you know, incredible sense of econ here coming out from Zhanhun, really showing how, you know, he's got these builds mapped out to a T. And remember, we have these +1 Corsairs in production. We'll likely, you know, see Zhanhun wait till he's got that 5-6 air count with +1 before moving out. Yeah, we have 6 +1, 3/4 of the way done. He's getting a little eager here. He wants to just start killing some Overlords, and I don't blame him. Ooh, first Scourge falling. Ooh, very nice, but we do have a connection on one of those Corsairs, so it looks like he's going to have to be a little wary with these Corsairs until that shield kind of moves back up. 1 Muta scouting in here, and yeah, it's, you know, I thought this was going to be air Zerg because of that +1 armor on the you know, Spire, but it looks like he's content with just going Hydra Scourge, and the air armor is just to kind of maintain his Overlord count, which is kind of a nice way to deal with it. It's also good for these Scourge. They're trying to, you know, make connections, and wow, big connections there. 2 Corsairs fall, and JeDi looking like he's in a decent position. He's down by about 16 workers, which, you know, it's not the best, it's not the worst. It's kind of standard. And he's being very patient with his Hydralisk, which I love to see. But yeah, he's eventually going to need to get that drone count to climb a little bit more and maybe look to secure a third gas here. But Zhanhun might have a small window with this Zealot Templar to move across the map and maybe get some big damage done. So JeDi moving into the natural here, putting some pressure across that bridge, but it looks like Zhanhun's just happy to take a third. And why wouldn't he be? You know, he's already got Templar, he's got a good amount of Corsairs still alive. Ooh, big storm though. You know, trading a lot of Hydra HP and a few Hydras for one Templar there. Not the worst trade. Hydra's still out on the map, but it looks like a big Zealot counter is headed towards the south side. I believe he's maybe looking to put some pressure into the natural here, but there are Hydras at the ready. Ooh, big flank coming up in the center of the map, and Hydra's just kind of being annoying for JeDi here, kind of luring these Zealots towards the bottom left side. Meanwhile, Corsairs looking to get some Overlord pickoffs, but they cannot. So JeDi doing a great job just being very wary here, trying to just be annoying and force out pressure and pull Zhanhun's army out of position. But still though, that drone count is not moved. It is sit at 30 drones. There's still no third gas on the way. This is starting to get into the position where I feel like JeDi is quite committed with these Hydra timings, when he maybe should be looking to take a fourth and, you know, get into lurker tech and continue to drone. But still, I say that's a lot of Hydralisk moving in here. Storms are out, I believe, out that third. Kind of just engaging everywhere, but not really finding an opening. And remember, we still have these Zealots out on the map, moving into the natural here. This could be quite dangerous for JeDi. Yeah, Zhanhun trying to put some pressure on that natural, but at the same time, JeDi pushing into this third. There's only a couple cannons left. One Templar I don't believe has any storm, but still big damage being done at this natural. Overlords are falling. Drones will start getting picked off here shortly from these Zealots, and yeah, this is going to be a big supply block here for JeDi. Did remove the cannons at the third, but still, the follow-up Storm Dragoon should be able to clean that up, and Zhanhun will have a third base here shortly. Meanwhile, JeDi might not have a natural here soon. These Zealots are continuing to do so much damage, along with these Corsairs, just picking off Overlord after Overlord. And drone count is now down to 20 for JeDi versus the 50 of Zhanhun. Two more Zealots forcing that drone to be pulled out of the main. And yeah, Zhanhun is suddenly sitting very pretty. Has the third base up. I like this composition change to more of a heavy Dragoon focus, especially when Zerg seems content with just staying on Hydralisk tech. He has no reason to move out, no reason to pressure. Meanwhile, JeDi really has to get something done here, it feels like. So Hydralisk streaming across the map to that third once again. Going to look to try to, I would assume, just try to kill this third base. Ooh, couple Dragoons getting caught out there. But man, that is just so much Protoss and so much Storm. High ground, cannons. It's quite difficult to engage this as here we go, big storms going down on these first volleys of Hydralisk. Dragoons coming in as well. Wow, big storms. Yeah, you know, JeDi is picking off a few of these Templar and Dragoons, but I don't think this is quite efficient, especially given the econ. And yeah, GG is called out of JeDi. Zhanhun taking a pretty dominant game one, I'd say. We saw nothing out of the ordinary there from Zhanhun. Two-player map, quick, forge, probe, scout, even lost the probe early on, and then just went into very standard +1 Sair versus, 5 hatch, but he was really able to kind of maneuver JeDi around the map and create openings for his, zealot patrols, let's say, and found big damage while being able to secure that third. That was very well played, as expected out of Zhanhun, and he will take the lead in this series 1-0. Very well played from both players, but we'll have to see how JeDi chooses to rally out of this one. He is down 0-1, but that means it is going to be his map pick going into game 2 of this best of 3 here. So yeah, exciting stuff. We'll have to see how this one goes. I did like that, JeDi opened with a, more of a standard Spire into 5 hatch for game 1. It doesn't really give Zhanhun a big read on anything out of the ordinary that he could possibly be posing. So I feel like, now if you're down 0-1, you have a special build for a special map planned, it's, probably go time to use that. So we'll see what JeDi ends up picking. And actually, once again, game 2, we see another Gladiator pick. I really like this. I think this is a great map for Zerg, great map for ZVP, just a great map in general. Really excited to see this one. So yeah, sounds like we are ready to go and get into game number 2 here. Zhanhun versus JeDi. Let's see it. And spawning at the bottom left of Gladiator as the brown Zerg, it is JeDi. And currently up 1-0 in the series. Spawning at the bottom right, the Protoss from China, it is Zhanhun. So Gladiator, when I think of Gladiator, low ground main, high ground natural, it's very pivotal that Protoss is able to hold their natural early on here. You don't want to be caught one base versus a Zerg with Hydralisks on the high ground outside your ramp. It's that could be a potential game ender for sure. So I would expect Protoss to be taking a Forge expand here, or even just a Gate expand, which we are seeing. And this will also be a 9 pool, it looks to be, out of JeDi. So 9 pool versus maybe Gate Expo, I'm guessing, because the probe went back into the main. Okay, and yeah, this is not 9 pool speed. I like to see that. Yep. This will also be a Gate Expo. 9 pool versus Gate Expo, it can go either way, but if I had to say at the highest levels, it probably has an advantage for Zerg to go 9 pool. You're able to put a little bit more pressure. The Gate expand is really negated because Protoss cannot put any, shouldn't be able to put any pressure with that early Zealot or follow-up Zealots. Just by making these quick 6 Zerglings. Protoss has really got to focus on the wall, prevent any kind of run-bys, and if you get Lings in your base early, as we all know, it could be game over quite quickly. So here we go, 6 Lings out, no Drone Scout from JeDi, obviously sees the gateway bottom right, so he knows exactly where Zhanhun is and what he's up to. And yeah, we see 6 Lings rallied across the map here. Sees the Zerglings moving out with that probe, so he knows exactly what he's up against here. Very quick Forge, I like this. Not trying to get greedy and get away with the early Nexus. And yeah, here we go. Zerglings going to start tearing away at this Zealot. Actually, no, picking off, or getting close to picking off one of the probes here. Two very weak probes at the natural, but neither one falling. Ooh, good control from both players here. Three very bruised Zerglings getting into the main, and actually Zhanhun going Nexus before Cannon. That's how confident he is in his control here. Four more Lings rallying to the natural here. Might try to pick off this probe one last time. And actually, no. Zhanhun moving the probe back to the natural. I really like this. Big surround, though, from these Zerglings. And there's still no cannon at the natural. This could be quite scary here for our Protoss player. But yeah, good walling. I like the probe pull here at the natural, really preventing any kind of big run-bys. And yeah, it looks like JeDi going to be forced to move back with these early Zerglings. Gas in the main. This looks to be just a 2-hatch opener from JeDi. And actually, JeDi is stacking a little bit of minerals as well. Still no third on the way, but we might have a drone mid-left getting ready to take another base. Zhanhun's still no cannon. So looking like he wants to put some big pressure on with these Zerglings here. Yep, there we go. Third base is down. Still no cannon. And it also looks like Zhanhun has the gas in the main. Layer on the way here for JeDi. And JeDi only down by 4 workers at this point in the game. So that's, I think, quite good for him economically. But man, that is a very fast core. This will definitely not be able to be a Spire first opener from Zerg. You would just lose too many Overlords before you know, any Scourge were out on the map. JeDi keeping the Zerglings close and in position to possibly counter. But yeah, he's got to expect that as soon as this cannon gets up at the natural, Protoss will likely be moving across the map with these Zealots to try to put on some counter pressure here. Third hatchery almost done here for JeDi, and that'll be his third base. Ooh, very good probe control here out of Zhanhun, keeping that alive. And yeah, here we go. We do see a Spire in the main, but Stargate almost complete. Zealots moving out onto the map. And actually, it looks like he was open for a counter there, not even opting to wall is Zhanhun. 5 Zealots moving into the natural here, 6th one on the way. And trying to get to that ramp, but this is so many Zerglings right off the bat. Big surround, good positioning here from JeDi. And wow, I really like JeDi's position after that engagement. You know, worker count could go up a little bit now, especially because he should feel pretty confident that he has map control. You know, the biggest concern here for JeDi is really going to be this first Corsair. What's it going to find? What's it going to kill? How bad's the supply block going to be? Yeah, we see Zhanhun building up that probe count as well. Only up by 6 workers, which is not normal, I feel like, given their position. He's really allowing JeDi to kind of establish this third here early on and build that probe count. Spire is done now, so maybe the Spire wasn't as far behind as I had been thinking. Second gas going up, and we do have Scourge in production. I feel like JeDi is in maybe a slight lead at this point. He's got the map control with the Zerglings, good Overlord spread across the map as well. And yeah, now that the Scourge are out, these Corsairs are going to be pushed back. This should allow JeDi a little more time to freely drone, as well as build into that Hydralisk tech that is, you know, the standard for the matchup. Zhanhun only with a single cannon at the wall off at the natural, working his way into that Templar Archives. Cannon in the main to defend these early Corsairs as well. So I feel like maybe even a Hydra timing could be quite difficult on this map for Zhanhun to defend. There's just not a ton of space for mass cannon. So this will be kind of interesting to see what JeDi opts for. Overlord speed on the way, +1 range attack, all very standard. And yeah, Hydralisk starting to be produced in mass. Okay, Zealot's moving out though, and there is no Muta, so this will need all the Zerglings and Hydras that JeDi has in order to be able to hold this. Zergling counter even going to Zhanhun's base. Ooh, but this will be walled off just in time. Very, very well done here from Zhanhun. And yeah, Zealots maybe making their way to that third base, actually opting to back off. And yeah, this Hydra count number is starting to get a little out of control here. And yeah, you can see Zhanhun even recognizes it. Storm on the way, a few more cannons being produced at that natural. Yeah, Zealots are trying to get whatever kind of trades they can get here, but there's just so much Zerg. Corsairs coming in, trying to pick off a few Overlords. Haven't been successful so far, but they have weakened a lot of these Overlords. So JeDi's really going to be forced to pay attention and, you know, kind of babysit these Overlords to prevent any more losses. Actually, it looks like JeDi just moving across the map with the Overlords as well. They will get, a couple might get picked off here, but yeah, big Hydra pressure coming in. I'm not sure if Storm is even ready. One Templar going down. Second one right up front. Oh, might even fall. I think he's done it. I think JeDi might take this game now. Without Storm, this is just too many Hydras. Zealots coming in with a beautiful flank. They're in a good position to do some good damage here. But yeah, the cannon count's been dwindled. High Templars are non-existent. Oh, but man, these Zealots and the Overlords as well. Big supply block incoming here for JeDi. Zhanhun just being very efficient with the few units that he has. But we still have another swell of Hydralisk moving across the map, really desperately trying to end this game. +1 range about to finish for JeDi as well. That could be, you know, what ends up sealing the deal here. Cannons being produced once again. Ooh, we have a Dark Templar out as well, but there's so many Overlords here. Dark Templar actually just opting to slip away and try to do some counter damage. Not a bad idea. Oh, we really need Storm though, is what we need. More Hydras moving into the natural here. Cannons barely living, and that should be a free Forge pickoff now for JeDi. Yeah, right before armor finishes as well. But we do have Templar, we do have Storm, which means Protoss still has some life in him. 4 cannons are up. Zealots on hold position, just waiting to give these Templars some energy. Ooh, DT counter in the main though does get picked off, and these Corsairs still looking to do a little bit more damage. Ooh, big Storm though at the natural, and man, Zhanhun is just barely hanging on here. One thing to mention, there's not been a single drone made in quite some time here for JeDi. This is very committed. You know, I don't even think he has like full saturation at the third really. Or maybe if he does, it's just barely. Forge being canceled once again. Lurker is on the way though, so if there is a Lurker contained setup, I still think Zhanhun is going to be in quite a difficult position to really be able to push out. That Robo is, you know, just a little delayed given everything that's been going on. But that Templar count is growing, and when that Templar count continues to grow, you know, Protoss slowly gets in a better and better position here. So Lurkers are being morphed, as I said, outside the natural. If this contain gets set up, then Zerg can definitely freely drone, and yes, we're seeing 9 more drones already being produced here. JeDi looks to just be in an incredible position for Zerg. Only 2 on gas at the natural for Zhanhun. I don't think he noticed. So gas mining is going to be a little inefficient. We see the safety cannons going down in the main and the natural, just because I think Lurker Hydra drop is very likely given their positions. So, you know, Zhanhun doing a great job recognizing that, and yeah, dealing with it. 6th hatchery going down at the 3rd. I would expect to see a 4th base here soon for JeDi, just given their position. I don't know if it's going to be the mineral only or, ooh, I like that top left. I think the mineral only is a little bit of it can be difficult for Zerg to kind of hold on this map. It's a little bit of a questionable base choice occasionally. But yeah, we see JeDi just really doubling down on this contain. He knows that Zhanhun likes to make probes. He knows he's got to be mining out of that main here quite shortly. So anything he can do to kind of stall, delay, prevent a 3rd base here from Zhanhun, you know, the better. Dragoon count is building. We do have an observer out now, so it looks like Zhanhun doing what he needs to do to try to transition out, break this contain, and move to the next portion of this game. That is so many gateways in the main. 8 gates in the main. Gotta love that 8-gate push. This is just a standard way for Protoss to play, especially given the situation. You know, you need as many units as you can to break these massive lurker contains from Zerg. At the same time, we see so many lurkers and Scourge out at the natural here for JeDi. I like the amount of Scourge, actually. It's really annoying for Protoss to try to keep so many observers alive, especially when they're so low on Vespian gas. Ooh, nice pickup there. Getting a couple Dragoons here early. And here we go. Storms down, trying to deal a little bit of damage to these Hydralisks. Hydralisks just kind of tanking for these this initial group of lurkers right out front. And storms are going down, but Zerg's being very efficient about not sending too many units in at any one time. That is so many lurkers. I mean, he's eventually going to need more and more Hydralisks and Lings. We see them rallying in across the map from these 7 hatcheries even from JeDi. Looking to pick off some observers with these Scourge. Ooh, here we go. More Hydras rallying in here. I mean, this is just endless Zerg, it feels like. Zhanhun being very efficient with the storms that he has, but I mean, how many more can he have? There's not that many Templar left. At least 1 more. But yeah, 2 more. There we go. But still, JeDi doing a great job controlling this, backing up exactly when he needs to. And here we go, big pressure moving out from the Protoss, and Zerg even moving in. Oh no! Storms his own observers, and suddenly there's no vision on these lurkers. This will greatly delay this move out from Protoss. JeDi just constantly reinforcing. Even has that 4th base starting to get saturated top left, so he is under no pressure at this point. He can continue playing for a while here. JeDi even taking the lead in worker count at the moment. We see they are even in supply, which is never good for a Protoss. Oh no, another observer being picked off. This is really well played here from JeDi. I think he's done it. I think it's I think this is Zerg's game at this point. We'll see here. 1 more observer coming in to join the fray. Hydra's pressing in, doing big damage once again. And oh my gosh, just a perfect observer snipe once again out of JeDi. I don't know. He's got the +2 attack here against only that +1 armor because of the forge being picked off there at the natural. Still layer, you know, not taking a risk and trying to, you know, sneak up to that hive tech. He knows he's got this game won. He's just got to continue to press and prevent a 3rd base from Protoss. But yeah, Protoss mined out of the main. That money is starting to slowly trickle out here. A couple more gateways being thrown down. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do here if you're for Zhanhun. This contain just seems endless. Corsair being picked off. Oh, picks off another observer. I can't even believe he had vision of that. And yeah, lurkers moving in, sensing blood, and realizing there's just no vision of this for Zhanhun. Perfect control here from JeDi. Really, really well done. More splash being thrown out from these lurkers. Once again, you know, that no +2 armor is really starting to add up here for Zhanhun. Anytime he engages his Hydra lurker, he's just taking, you know, unfortunate trades. Another observer moving out. This one survives for a second. And yeah, Hydra's moving in here, just trying to do any kind of damage they can, sensing there's no more storm. It's very zealot heavy, and really just trying to pick off any of these Dragoons that they possibly can. Zerglings being rallied across the map here. Hydra's even taking a 5th base is JeDi. He knows this one's over. This is his game. And yeah, Zhanhun looking like he wants to try one more big breakout here. Pushing out with the Hydras, with the Dragoons. Nice storm going down there for Zhanhun. But yeah, this is really, really good damage coming out here from JeDi. Alright, there's almost nothing you can do as Protoss at this point. He's just kind of stuck trying to make this a game however possible. You know, he might try to make a shuttle and sneak a probe out somewhere, but as we can see, JeDi just has perfect, you know, map vision, and GG is called. JeDi taking game 2 in the series. Wow. I'd say big upset there. That was just really, really well played from the start. You know, I think he got a little, let's say, fortunate scouting Protoss bottom right first and getting that 9 pool versus gate expo opener. But man, he played that out very well, setting up that Hydra pressure into lurker contain and just not taking his foot off the gas. Very, very well played there from JeDi. And that moves the series to 1-1 between Zhanhun and JeDi. Now going into game 3 here, that means Zhanhun will get map choice. You know, kind of, I'm a little interested to see what type of a map he would end up picking on a tied series like this. It'll be, you know, Zhanhun definitely very good at the matchup. I think, you know, maybe just given the way Gladiator plays, it can be quite difficult for Protoss to break, you know, lurker contains as well as deal with Hydra pressure at that natural, given there's just not a ton of room for cannons in that layout. So I would expect him to pick something a little bit, you know, with a bigger natural or easier to wall off natural. And but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what map he ends up opting for here. So it's tied up 1-1 between these two. I gotta say, I'm rooting for JeDi after that game. You know, he's not really relatively as well known as Zhanhun, especially given Zhanhun's you know, previous BSL performance. But man, he really had an exceptional game there against Zhanhun, and it looks like game 3 will be another 2-player map, Butter. This is a new one to the map pool. Butter, kind of, you know, I would say a staple map already at this point. It seems very fair, at least given this matchup. You see a lot of players tend to try to hold these high ground mid-left areas. You know, a lot of the bases, actually just about all of them, have 2 entrances, so a lot of counterattack potential for, you know, things like Zergling run-bys and Zealot pressure, Dark Templar, you know, harassment. So I think this is going to be an exciting game no matter what. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into JeDi versus Zhanhun Game 3 on Butter. And spawning at the top right, as that magenta Zerg, we have JeDi. And spawning at the bottom right of Butter as that gray Protoss, we have Zhanhun. Now, I mean, the only map we can really kind of compare this with so far is what we saw on Overwatch. We saw very standard Forge Expand opener, you know, quick probe scout. So far, in not just PvZ but also PvP, we've kind of been able to notice Zhanhun likes his early scouts, likes to get that intel, and I would expect this to be a Forge Expo or a Nexus first, just given the how big the map is. If you were to do something like a Gate Expo here, it would just take so long for that Zealot to run across the map that it might not even be worth it. Now from Zerg, I would expect something like an Overpool, which we are seeing. Just because it is a two-player map, it's always risky, you know, doing anything other than an Overpool on a two-player map in case the Protoss sends that quick probe scout to block the natural, or just, you know, be annoying with. But yeah, we are seeing a drone scout here quite quickly for JeDi on a two-player map. Drone scouting on a two-player map, it's kind of optional. You see a lot of, oh, he's taking the third. I like this, actually. Actually, it looks like he's running back and forth, might just try to take the natural, given he's not seen a probe yet. And yeah, we will see the Overpool Expo versus the Nexus first here of Zhanhun. Now, normally I'd say Nexus first could be a little scary, given, you know, especially on a two-player map, versus an Overpool, but I think he has it timed out just in time to where he'll get a cannon. So we'll have to see how this goes. Probe moving into the natural, trying to scout this Zergling timing, sees the Lings, but the Lings just move across the map here. If he gets right on top of this cannon immediately, he might be able to target it down. I'm not sure. This is going to be very close here. And Probe's transferring to the natural, looking to wall this off. I like this. Okay, Zergling's getting on top of a couple of the probes. Might just opt for a run by, and yeah, this is a good run by either way. He's lost some, you know, mining time already with these probes. He's just going to be able to keep these Zerglings inside the main for quite some time. Probe's trying to chase these two Lings down, but yeah, just losing a lot of mining time so far is Zhanhun. Zerg has third base up, gas inside the main. Wow, these four probes are just relentless though. Just really trying to not give up on killing this Ling, but it does get far away. This is just very well done so far from JeDi. Oh! Loses one Ling, but still has forced so much lost mining time that I believe it's well worth it here for JeDi. Now JeDi should be free to drone. He has perfect scouting, layer on the way. Third hatch almost complete. And Zergling speed as well. So he'll see the Zealot moving across the map. Should have the Zergling count he needs to really be able to deal with it. Protoss just starting to mine their Vespian Geyser. So I feel like tech is slightly delayed where Zhanhun would want it to be. But he is already up 8 workers with that fast Nexus, so I think this will still pay off for him. That pesky Zergling still inside the main, doing a little bit more damage, forcing some more lost mining time. And yeah, Zhanhun scouting the Zergling count should know that there's not really going to be able to be a whole lot of openings here for Zealots to do any type of damage. Zergling's still running around inside the main. Great multitasking here for JeDi, but actually that Zergling does fall, and so does its harass potential. Drone count definitely starting to grow here. We have 20 drones to the 30 probes of Zhanhun. Preventing that scout. 3 zealots at the wall off for Zhanhun as well. +1 on the way for these zealots. +1 pretty key upgrade, allowing zealots to 2-shot Zerglings, which is a big power spike. Spire obviously down in the main, looking to complete here fairly soon. 4th hatchery being placed at the natural. Citadel and Stargate. This will likely be more standard Zealot Corsair pressure out of Zhanhun, like we've been watching him do in the previous games. 5th hatchery down here for JeDi, so just playing his safe standard game. He really likes getting the Spire down just to produce enough Scourge to mitigate these Corsairs, and then he'll drone into Hydra pressure, which is exactly what we've seen. Pylon down at the natural, cannon inside the main, +1 air attack, as well as legs being produced here for Zhanhun. So yep, should be some good Zealot pressure with Corsairs. A couple more drones being produced here, and drone count is right at that sweet spot, 29. He'll probably produce a couple more drones here, get it to around that 30 number. And yeah, I think, I don't know, this is going to be an interesting one. Ooh, nice job cutting this Corsair off with the Scourge. I really like this play. Zealots moving out. They were scouted by this Scourge though. Wow, he's just being so annoying with this Scourge, trying to prevent that Corsair from getting back to the cannon, but ultimately it doesn't end up being enough. Zealots moving into the natural here. We do have Buta, Zerglings, and a Sunken, but the Zealot's just going to run straight by into the main. No +1 quite yet for the Zerg. This will force a lot of lost mining time, and he might actually lose some drones here as well. Ooh, Zergling's not really joining the fight here, so it's just drones fighting versus Zealots, which is never good. And yeah, still a Zealot inside the main, goes unnoticed. He's going to lose a few more drones here, most likely. Okay, good, good harass there from Zhanhun. But nice job mitigating it. Even another Zealot inside the main. Oh my gosh. Great control here from Zhanhun. That's going to be very annoying here in a second. Corsairs continually being produced. We're finally at that 6 Corsair count, which is a pivotal number to be able to start one-shotting these Scourge. And yep, +1 is completed. I would expect these Sairs to be moving out here momentarily. Zealot running into the main here, going to pick up some more kills, it looks like. Drones being forced to be pulled. Ooh, big damage here with the Zealot. Very well done here from Zhanhun. That is a lot of Scourge. I don't know if you want to show that many Scourge. I guess he does. So this is mass Buta Scourge. It's really going to come down to a big fight. If he's able to get the Scourge on top of these Corsairs, and do some big damage, it could be quite scary here for our Protoss player. A lot more drones this game out of JeDi. I really like this. He's got to resaturate that main here. Worker count is 39 for JeDi to the 47 of Zhanhun. What I believe Zhanhun's going to do here is use his Archon Sair to push to his own third and just hold a third. It seems to be kind of the meta way to do it at the moment. Ooh, Archon getting a, 1 or 2 good shots in there. And here we go. Actually, Protoss, Zhanhun just opting to move completely across the map. There's a lot of Sunkens at the natural, though. I don't believe that that natural will be able to be breached, but maybe the third. Hydra switch likely to be coming here shortly. Ooh, very nice Scourge movement, but actually, of course, there was Scourge stop. Ooh, not quite able to get on top of this Corsair count, so very well done here from Zhanhun. Oh no, Archon just being allowed to clean up these Sair, and suddenly Zhanhun taking a dominant supply lead, up by almost 40 supply, 30 supply I guess, so far. So very, very well done there. Mutas are still alive, are still out on the map, and maybe could look to pick up some of these Templar here outside of Protoss's natural, but he would have to know they were there, obviously. And yep, looks like Zhanhun just moving out to take that third base. Once he secures this third gas base, he'll be in a strong position. This map is kind of interesting. I think it's very good for Protoss if you're able to secure these high ground bases. It's also just very wide open, really everywhere. There's so many entrances to each of the bases that it can be quite difficult to for Zerg to hold and prevent, harass timings. But actually, we see JeDi with some very good sunken placement at each of these positions. It's going to be quite difficult to breach these bases. We still see mass Muta Scourge out of JeDi. So this is going to be a little sensitive here, for JeDi if this continues, just because, Muta Scourge can work pretty well mid-game, but once Storm is up, once the Corsair count gets high enough, and once the Archon count gets high enough, these Muta Scourge just start getting erased. So eventually JeDi is going to need to start getting on that Hydra tech, get the lurkers produced, and kind of transition to a different composition. Okay, Corsair's getting on top of these Muta, doing some good damage, but then getting forced back. Great control here out of Zhanhun, just doing some good pressure with these Corsairs, taking out a few more Scourge, and yeah, here we go. We see the Hydra transition. Still no +1 range attack. That's kind of the issue with going this Muta Scourge composition, for the mid game, is that, you inevitably end up delaying your Hydralisk upgrades slightly. So +1 range attack almost completed at the 13-minute mark, but it will be delayed, which delays it for the rest of the game. Zerg not seeing the Protoss move towards the fourth. Looks like it's just going to be a big counter here from JeDi to the third. He's got to kill this third. And Muta moving in, targeting down the first cannon. Hydra's trying to move up that ramp. Great hold position here from Zhanhun on these two Zealots. And actually Zhanhun just committing as well to this third. So 3 Sunkens here, a few Hydras, but not much else. I believe JeDi should be able to kill this third base, but he'll probably end up sacrificing his own third base at the same time. Yep, Hydralisk moving all on top of these Dragoons, getting underneath these Corsairs and starting to pick off the cannons at the third. Drones trying to be run from the third for JeDi. Drone count has been reduced to 30 versus the 34 probes of Zhanhun. Ooh, nice pickoff on that Templar, but big storms. And yeah, suddenly I think Zhanhun still taking the better of this trade. He is up by over double the supply count. We see a couple more safety Sunkens being placed at the natural. Not sure how this is going to go here for Zhanhun. It's only 4 Sunkens. Yeah, actually that's a lot of Protoss. Dragoons getting on top of these Sunkens, starting to tear them down. Storm going off on the last remaining drones and Hydralisks here. Final 2 Sunkens are trying to plug away and do a little bit of damage. Ooh, we do have lurkers, but observer already ready here for Zhanhun. He is prepared for this. And yeah, this is unfortunately not looking too great here for JeDi. Zhanhun poised and in a good position to take this one, and GG is called out from JeDi. So Zhanhun ended up coming back, taking that game and the series, obviously, in a 2-1 versus JeDi. JeDi, you know, I liked the attempt at opening that Muta Scourge. If he was able to maybe pick off one or two more of those Corsairs early on, it might not have snowballed into Zhanhun's favor. But Zhanhun, obviously, with some incredible Corsair micro, does manage to pull that one out, and that means Zhanhun will be in the winner bracket finals of Group A for the Asia region in Pro League. Very, very well played from him. That means we will actually have JeDi moving on to play the winner of Naida versus SoSo in a best-of-3 series to see who moves on into the round of 12. So yeah, that will be the deciders match, but Zhanhun taking a pretty incredible series once again, as expected. Looking at this group, this is kind of how I expected this one to go, to be honest with you. Zhanhun just showing such dominant play and is a BSL veteran at this point, so really showing it here. Those were some incredible games. Yeah, we'll do a quick 2-minute break here. All right, everyone. We're going to jump into a quick 2-minute break here. Get up, get some water, stretch your legs, because next up we're going to have Naida versus SoSo, the elimination match here in a best-of-3. And all right, everyone, we'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Hello, hello, and welcome back, everyone, to BSL Season 15 Pro League for Asia. We are in Group A today. We just saw an incredible series in the winner bracket finals between JeDi and Zhanhun. Obviously, our Protoss veteran ended up taking that one. So now we'll be moving on to the elimination match. We will have Naida, a Protoss player, going up against SoSo, our 51-year-old Zerg player. Should be pretty interesting. We saw Naida go up against Zhanhun at the start of the event here, and had kind of a back and forth series with our winner here. Zhanhun ended up taking that 2-1. But it was a very close 2-1, and Naida did have a pretty dominant win. Whereas we saw JeDi go up against SoSo, and JeDi, definitely outplayed SoSo. I'd say a little bit more, had a little bit more of meta strategies and so forth. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what SoSo brings to the table here against Naida. Should be quite interesting match. We're going to have Longinus actually as the first map of the series. Kind of an old school map. Definitely, I would say, a favorite for all Protoss players, with that double gas fourth base, wide natural. No ramp leading into the main. It could be a nightmare for things like TVP and late game ZVP. So we'll have to see how that one goes here. But either way, this is going to be quite an interesting match between these two. And I, for one, can't wait to get it started here. So yeah, Longinus, old school map, jungle tile set. It's a 3-player map here with double gases at the fourth. There's also a high ground area in the center, which can make for some interesting plays, trying to defend as well as attack. I'd say leading into the third mineral only base, it kind of favors those who are being more aggressive. But yeah, we are ready to jump into this one. Let's go to game 1 of SoSo versus Naida. Here we go. Here we go. Spawning mid-right on Longinus as that blue Zerg. He's 51 years old. It is SoSo. And spawning bottom left as the red Protoss, we have Naida. Now, Naida had a pretty scrappy series with the champ so far. Really, taking it to that game 3. As I mentioned before, if I had to say Longinus favors anything, it would probably be a good Protoss map here. So we see this quick probe moving out to the natural, not unexpected, getting that pylon down, going back into the main. Because we don't see the probe scout right away, I would expect this to be some type of a gate opener. Normally, if Protoss is going Forge first, they would have sent that probe out immediately to the Zerg. But yeah, we actually see a 9-pool opener as well out of SoSo. I really like this. There's no ramp leading into the main, so Zergling pressure can be a little more difficult to deal with if it gets past the wall. We even see the gas going down the main. This is not a cancel like we're used to seeing. This is going to be a 9-pool speed. Can be quite difficult for a gate opener to deal with, but oh, this is a Forge. This is going to be a Forge, so I'm a lot less worried here for Naida. Uh-oh, a little bit of a probe miscout there. Moving to the left of the top left main here means that we'll delay when he knows exactly where SoSo is and what he's up to. Ooh, is he gonna get caught being greedy here and not putting cannons down right away? If this is a Nexus first, he's maybe in some trouble. We'll have to see here. Zergling's already in production, on the way here, gas being mined. We will likely see that speed. Yep, speed is out here for SoSo. Zerglings are done and on their way to Protoss. Well, I guess he didn't drone scout, so he doesn't know exactly where Protoss is yet, but... Oh, and he is moving top left, unfortunately. So this could be a little scary. Protoss luring those Zerglings away. Oh, the wrong way. Oh no. So suddenly I'm a lot less worried for our Protoss friend here. Zerglings moving up towards the top left. Still haven't realized that Protoss is bottom left. There we go. Zerglings being rerouted, redirected to the bottom left side of the map. And yeah, it looks like a natural expansion will be taken here for SoSo. Double cannon going down, probes being pulled. He knows he's just got to live here, and he's got this one, I think. So moving in, one Zergling falling immediately. That's quite a large amount of probes to be pulled, but you know, like I was saying, it's just pivotal that you don't let these speedlings get inside the main. Speed is completed here for SoSo, but Probe's still able to scout inside this main, see exactly what's going on here. Sees 2 on gas, drones being produced, and yeah, that Probe falls. So yep, we have 2 cannons, we have a wall off here, gas going down in the main for Naida. Naida's just got to feel like he's in a pretty good spot here. Got that second Nexus up quite quickly. That will allow, you know, the probe count to climb drastically here soon. Meanwhile, Lair is on the way here for SoSo. This is going to be 2 base Zerg style. Natural hatchery almost completed. I like this option to wall with the probe and the zealot, just not taking any risks here. Zerg has an Overlord in the main, so we'll know exactly what Naida is up to here as far as tech. Zerglings just content with scouting outside the natural, not trying to go scout around the map for hidden probes or zealots or anything. And yeah, this probe count is definitely starting to rise. 24 probes to the 17 of SoSo. But SoSo is taking this natural, and Hydra Den is down. Kind of a unique opener there, I'd say. I would have expected something more like a 2 base Spire. I think this is a little more meta, a little more standard, but either way, we'll see if this ends up being like a Lurker opener. Starport down in the main for Protoss. So we'll see, you know, if Zerg's able to handle the Corsair count here early on. It is a Hydra Den and a Spire. So he's got all tech options available. Stargate about halfway completed. And we see 30 workers so far to the 19 of SoSo. I think that's going to end up being the story of this game, at least so far. Naida just seems to be mining a little bit more efficiently, which means he doesn't have to be as efficient with his units. He can just kind of make more of them. Sunken down at the natural though, so this will prevent any kind of, you know, zealot run-bys or, you know, even if it gets to like a mid-late game where DTs are being snuck out of the main, it should prevent, you know, the majority of damage being done. SoSo with 800 minerals, 600 gas here could definitely afford a 3rd hatchery somewhere. Wonder if he'll try to take the mineral only or opt for another one of the double gas bases. 2 cannons down in the main, 3rd cannon at the natural. Zealot's moving into the natural here. Ooh, big drone pick off. Zergling's going down though. Not a ton of workers at the natural quite yet for our Zerg. Oh, wow, nice save on that drone. And now we have mutas in play here. Corsair is being pulled back immediately. I like this play from Naida, recognizing there's mutas out on the map. Doesn't want to be too risky with these original Corsairs. But he could still lose that Sair. But actually, nope. Looks like SoSo opting to dive into the main here. Sees a couple cannons at the start and actually starting to pick off that starport. This could be really nice. Ooh, opting to go for the Sares. Ooh, he needs to stay on top of those Sares though. Looks like Naida able to just barely get away with these two Sares. SoSo, meanwhile, continuing to pressure with these Muta, bringing some Scourge in. And yeah, he's looking to do some big damage here, but he's unfortunately a little supply blocked. All right, now that the supply block is over with, he'll likely continue producing Mutas. But honestly, Naida just has perfect defense. Two cannons in the main, Corsairs continually being produced. He's even got the Citadel down, more cannons at the natural. There's, I mean, just really not much of an opener here for SoSo to get damage done. Hydra Den is completed, Hydra range on the way, so this looks to be some type of a tech switch. Ooh, 4 Corsairs getting right on top of these Muta and pushing them back. Yeah, this is a lot of Corsairs. Honestly, Naida just realizes there's not a whole lot he has to do at the moment. He just kind of needs to sit back, make sure he doesn't take any economic damage, and Zerg, will fizzle out at this point. We see it's 46 workers to the 18 of SoSo, which is, obviously in favor here for our Protoss player. Okay, Zerg coming back in with some control though, looking to get some shots off on these Corsairs. Ooh, Corsairs do end up picking off those Scourge before they engage though, and hitting with Muta a few more times. Oh man, these Muta are so bruised now. It looks like Naida recognizes it too, just kind of pushing out onto the map, trying to get any more Muta controls or kills that he possibly could. Gets a free Overlord, and oh no, suddenly SoSo is supply blocked. Lots of Zealot Templar being produced here. Would expect Naida to move into that Zealot Storm heavy play. We see Bisu play quite often. Oh no, only 4 Muta left. And Naida sees exactly what's going on here. There's a lot of Hydras being produced, scouting out for a third. Not quite seeing it at that mineral only. And yeah, even more cannons being produced down at the natural here for Naida. He didn't see a whole lot of drones, so I think he's just kind of recognized what he's up against here, and it's really going to be in his favor to just try to sit and survive as long as possible. Okay. Overlord speed is done. Hydra range on the way. And this is going to be a big timing here out of SoSo. He's really got to do his, the best he can, trying to keep these Overlords alive from the Corsairs, and then pick off these Templars, or at least force out some mist storms, and try to break down this natural of Naida. Naida, though, seems pretty prepared. Good wall off. We see a clump of Zealots at the north side of the map, maybe looking to get in position to flank here. Oh, okay. SoSo getting on top of these Templar, almost getting one. And yeah, with 7 cannons here and this wall off, this is going to be a little tricky for Zerg to break. Big Zealot counter coming across the map, though. This could be devastating for SoSo's natural. Ooh, actually even swallowing up a group of Hydralists outside Zerg's natural. Yeah, Zerg can't even focus on the pressure because there's just so many Zealots steamrolling in here. Ooh, good wall off though for SoSo. He's getting on top of these drones though and these Sunkens. This is already big damage here for Naida. Overlord's still being killed by these Corsair count as well. 8 Corsairs still alive. Zealots moving into the main. And also Corsairs moving in, taking off yet another Overlord here. Not quite supply blocking SoSo, but he's not too far off either. Drones being forced to get pulled out of the main. And Hydralists do move back in order to clean this up, but oh no! He loses his remaining Overlords in the center, and game 1 is called there for Naida taking a pretty dominant Game 1 victory on Longinus over SoSo. I respect the unique play out of SoSo opening with that 9 full speed early. I think maybe if the Zerglings had moved to the other base, he might have been able to get a little bit more damage done versus that Nexus first opener. Well, Forge Nexus. But, unfortunately that didn't happen, and Naida was able to kind of carry the game away just based on econ there early on. So well played there from Naida, taking a dominant Game 1 victory over SoSo. Now that means this will be SoSo's map choice going into Game 2. We've seen a lot of Gladiator picks so far in this Group A, so kind of interested to see if we'll see more of the same, or if SoSo's got something else kind of planned for his Game 2 here. Yeah, I love. We got Ox in the chat. Love seeing these middle-aged folks with careers and families still playing this game. Yep. Me too, man. I tend to cheer for the older people now. I know their pain, your joints ache from clicking too much, and you just keep on clicking. Oh, man. And yep, once again, we're going to see another Gladiator pick Game 2. I think this is the favorite map, and at least so far. I myself love this map for just about every matchup, honestly. So really excited to see this one in the map pool. And obviously, SoSo agrees with me here. So it sounds like we are ready to get into game number 2 here. SoSo versus Naida. Naida leading 1-0, and yeah, we'll see how game 2 goes. Here we go. Alright, spawning at the top left of Gladiator as the red Protoss, currently up 1-0, it is Naida. And spawning at the bottom right, opposite side of the map as the blue Zerg, we have SoSo. So this is SoSo's map choice. We already got to see, a pretty good game ZVP on this map between Zhanhun and JeDi, actually. And JeDi ended up opting for Massive Lurker Contain, which I think is great given this map. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe SoSo recognizes that and goes for something similar, or or not. Maybe he's got something else planned. We see Extractor Trick here early on. That's different. I feel like I don't see that super duper often. Followed by an Overlord. This is just going to be for a quick drone scout. And Naida clearly hacking, just moving all the way across map, goes straight to SoSo's base. I'm joking, obviously, but this is kind of a unique scout pattern, to say the least. I'm not sure what he's going for here. Maybe he was looking to catch an Overlord with this probe. Either way, he scouts towards the top right and sees the drone move out of the top right, so he's got to be super confused. Won't see that base, or knows that he's not top right now, so he's got to be bottom right, I'm assuming. Forge down at the natural here, just looking to get into a game, which I like this play from Naida. We have the gas, early gas in the main once again for SoSo. We'll have to see if this is a potential Ling speed play, or maybe he's just opting for a quicker layer this game. We'll have to see. Probe scouting the bottom right expansion, and will find SoSo's base. Sees two cannons even going down at the natural here. Probe is in a fine position to block SoSo's Expo. So very nicely done here from Naida so far. Oh no. That's gonna be a dead drone. Probe still doing whatever harass it can, forcing some drones to be pulled off. It looks like SoSo really doesn't want Naida to see exactly what he's got going on here. And it is. It's gonna be one base layer play. I was kind of curious when I saw the drone block if that's what this was. Using the Zergling to block the ramp and not take down the pylon at the natural. This is different. Might even get another pylon down. Yep, he's gonna just continually pylon block this natural until SoSo's forced to react. Ooh, placing an off-hatch hatchery there. That's it's not gonna pay off in the long run, I don't think. But at least he has a natural on the way. Protoss happy to get the next pylon inside the main. Gateway down. He has the 2 cannons at the natural, so he should be in a fine spot here. Even against potential Ling Flood coming out from SoSo. With this one base layer, there's only so many options. It's usually it's Spire, but oh, I was so wrong. It's going to be drop play. You really don't get to see this very often. Hydra Den going down now. Overlord will likely try to get in a position to maybe drop Zerglings. Zerglings or Lurker, I would guess, into the main of Naida. And yeah, not quite seeing Ling speed on the way, so maybe, I don't know. This could be Lurker, this could be maybe just a slow Hydra drop. I think Lurker makes more sense because he could then just shut off the mining, especially if there's no detection in the main or the natural mineral line of Naida, as well as he can kind of contain from there. So drones being pulled to the natural, great drone control or probe control rather from Naida to scout around this natural expansion. And yeah, we see Hydra speed being researched, so this will be a Hydra speed drop, which is not something you see every day, I gotta say. Natural Expo is up and mining here for SoSo, but probe count is 26 to the 16 of SoSo. Hydras are completed. And Zealot moving in position to maybe get some harassment done. Actually, looks like he's possibly just scouting for a third or waiting to counterattack. Cannon in the main already. Naida obviously senses something's up here. It's going to be a little difficult for him to deal with. One Zealot sneaking into the natural now of SoSo. Drones being forced to be pulled along with a couple Hydras. Getting into the main. And good harass and good hold. Forced a little bit of lost mining time. But still, I think that went very well for SoSo. Hydra's pressuring out to the middle. And remember, we have that drop. So drop will come into play at some point. Waiting for that Overlord speed, it looks like. But maybe if he forces enough cannons at the natural and then drops all the Hydras into the main, this could work in his favor. But yeah, a lot of cannons going down here from Naida. Corsair is out on the map, looking to do a little bit of damage. Lurker aspect being researched from SoSo, so he definitely will look to at least contain or maybe even do a Lurker drop of his own eventually. It looks like there might even be space behind Naida's natural for a Lurker to be dropped into that mineral line. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see. But either way, things are about to get really exciting here. Hydra's loading up into those Overlords. Looks like SoSo waiting for one or two more, and yeah, we'll probably see a dive into the mineral line here of Naida. Lurker is finished researched, so we'll see if maybe we can get a Lurker contained follow-up if this doesn't quite kill Naida. Only a single Zealot in the main and a couple cannons. Okay, We got a second Zealot, third Zealot joining in. Dropping away from the cannons. I kind of like this. Yeah, picking off those Zealots quite easily, and now suddenly he's on top of the gateways of Naida. Naida with a lot of gas being stacked. Not a whole lot of money, though. Lurkers being morphed directly inside the main. Wow, this is a bold, bold statement here from SoSo. Wow. This is very nice out of SoSo. What a unique play. Zealots going down, and now suddenly there's not a whole lot of Zealots to really defend versus these Hydralisks. Lurkers are completed, and I don't think we're going to have obs for a little while. So this could be quite difficult for Naida to hold, especially if he loses all of his gateways. Lurker running to that natural. Oh man, if he had an Overlord scouting for that, he could be picking off probes in the mineral line. Okay. He is going to start plugging away at that robo facility. More Lurkers at the natural. Trying to tear down that robo. And Hydralisk still being rallied across the map here. Gateways desperately being put down in the main here. I mean, he's got to get an Observer, and he's got to get a significant enough Zealot count that he can clear up these Hydralisks in the main. SoSo could be, you know, using these Lurkers to prevent some mining in the main, but, you know, just kind of opting to keep good position here, it looks like. Counter Zealots being forced out, but getting trapped by these 4 Hydralisks remaining at home. Very nicely done here. Okay, looks like Zealots are moving out, but the Observer gets picked? Oh man, finish off the Robo! Please! Okay, Robo almost dead. Looks like that will go down, and that means this is the only Observer that's alive at the moment. More gateways being put down, but no more Robo. Oh no! Oh, come on, please! Oh man, so close! 1 HP on that Observer. What a unique game, man. This is incredible. Hydra's still plugging away, doing some damage in the main here. Lurker now in position to start doing some damage to this Nexus. And I feel like Naida's on a timer. He's got to get the unit count he needs to stop this, and soon, or this could be game over. More Hydras being loaded up outside the natural. Wow, big Hydra count moving across, you know, now. Nexus slowly starting to go down. There's a lot of Zealots here, 6 Zealots, but these Hydras definitely need to get dropped into the main here. Here we go. More Hydralisks being unloaded right outside the range of these Zealots. Uh-oh. A little unfortunate. Some Hydras moving into the cannons there at the natural. That 1 HP obs moving in slightly, but it's just not quite enough. I think he's going to lose the main Nexus here. Oh, come on! He gets the final obs, but there is another Robo now, so Naida can produce more Observers here. Actually, he might have lost the Observatory too, so I don't know if he can, actually. Yeah, there's no more obs here, so these 2 Lurkers will be able to just plug away. Very nicely done here by SoSo, morphing more and more Lurkers. Okay, there is an Observatory, so there will be more obs shortly, but Hydra's still being produced in mass from SoSo, and I think this Nexus is about to fall. If he can get an Observer in the main, or Overlord in the main, and prevent mining at the natural, this could be game. Here we go, Lurkers moving over top. Oh no, burrow him! And yeah, it looks like all of these Hydralisks will end up getting cleaned up along with the last remaining Lurkers. But remember, Protoss lost their main Nexus here, so he's essentially just mining off of a single base so far. Zerg, though, moving back, still on that Hydra Lurker tech, and starting to drone. So we do have 20 workers to the 34 of SoSo, moving in with a Fate drop, just a single drone for SoSo. And yeah, it looks like this will be a big Zealot counter here out of Naida, trying to get some damage done at this natural. Here we go. One group of Zealots moving into the natural here. Might be able to start picking off some of these drones, but nope. 2 lurkers, that will push this off for now. Naida just in desperation mode, trying to get his main back up and saturated. He is actually taking a 3rd base as well at 12 o'clock, but I'm not sure if he even needs it at this point. Scouting around for Zerg's 3rd base. Obviously, we know this is just 2 base from SoSo so far. Alright, Zealots moving in, picking off a few Hydralisks, but really good lurker positioning here. That's going to prevent any further move-ins from these Zealots. There's just no way for Naida to really engage into that efficiently. And yeah, Naida just looks content with just taking bases and sitting back at the moment. I have to say I agree. I think this is he's in a fine position now that he's able to kind of hold off this lurker Hydra drop timing. Overlord's moving back, and it looks like we also have Corsair in production now from Naida. So starting to utilize some of this gas that's been stacked. And yeah, we also have that 3rd base at the 12 o'clock position for Naida. That's going to start coming online here shortly, and that'll be a big econ boost in this position. SoSo moving out with more Hydralisks, trying to pick off that Observer. Almost gets it. But Naida doing a great job taking these efficient engagements. And I mean, just kind of delaying, right? He's really just trying to prevent SoSo from taking a 3rd for as long as possible here. But SoSo able to move out now, finally has a good enough number of Hydralisks that he can start pressuring out on the map. Meanwhile, though, Naida with these High Templars, that's going to be a big power spike for him. If he can even slip 1 or 2 of those Templars over to the 3rd, that would almost prevent Zerg from, having the possibility of killing that 3rd base of his. Okay, lurkers going down the center here. Naida will be pushed off, forced to retreat with these Zealots. And yeah, we have 2 Templar at the 3rd base here for Naida. I mean, Storm Cannon is just one of the most strongest defensive compositions in the game. Ooh, okay. Almost picking off a Templar there. But once again, we have SoSo in a position where he can start going for some type of a lurker contain here. I don't think SoSo has realized that Naida is on a 3rd base yet, which could be a little detrimental, especially if he thinks he's mining, 2 bases versus 2 base Protoss. Because the longer this 3rd base stays up for Naida, the further and further ahead he's going to start to climb. And yeah, we see an Overlord moving to that 12 o'clock position. We'll recognize here shortly that there is a 3 base Protoss. Ooh, big storm here for Naida. Picking off some of these Hydralisks. Ooh. And yeah, all of the Hydralisks end up falling there, which means there's nothing left to pick off this Observer. Ooh, but still, good damage. A lot of those Zealots were pretty soft, so I feel like those lurkers cleaned that up fairly well. Still no Evo Chamber out of SoSo, so eventually this Forge will start giving Naida the better, more efficient composition just by having better upgrades. And he's already 1/1/1, has shield, has that armor, has a +1 attack. And yeah, Evo Chamber going down the main, 3rd base on the way at the 6 o'clock position for SoSo, and even a 2nd Evo Chamber going down at the natural here. So Naida kind of content with just sitting back at the moment. He's got the worker count lead, he's got the econ lead, he's got the composition lead. Things are going to get quite difficult here for SoSo, shortly. double creep colony going down the main, trying to prevent any type of drop play that could be happening from Naida. And Dragoon count for the first time starting to rise in the game. This is really how you want to do it against, you know, Lurker Hydra compositions mid-game. Naida's doing a good job utilizing this high ground positioning versus the low ground Lurker Hydraless, and yeah, unfortunately just that one Lurker still continuing to contain Naida for the moment. There we go, Observer is out, and the final remaining Lurker has been killed off here. And it looks like SoSo forced to retreat here. Remember, he does have that third base up at 6 o'clock. Isn't quite saturated yet, but we're also moving on to Spire and double Evo play. Naida looking like he's got a dominant force, though, moving across the map. He might be able to end right here with this composition. Single Archon, very Dragoon heavy. It works wonders against these, you know, Lurker, sunken, Hydra wall-offs. So waiting for his trailing Templars here, looking to get a couple Hydra pickoffs at the start of this fight, but here we go. Big engagement incoming. Lurkers are getting stormed, and one remaining Lurker is alive here for SoSo. That gets stormed as well. Cannons going down. This is SoSo's life in the tournament at stake. And GG is called. Wow, well played there from both. That was you never get to see that. You never, I mean, one base layer into two base Lurker Hydra drop, and he almost did it. You know, if he prevented the mining of the natural with another Lurker, who knows? You know, we might have had SoSo moving on to game 3 here, but as is, Naida did a wonderful job getting it done, you know, doing what he needed to do to take the series. And he takes the series 2-0, pretty convincing fashion against SoSo. So well played by both. Hopefully we get to see SoSo next series of BSL. I definitely enjoy casting his games, but next, that means Naida will be moving on to face JeDi. JeDi, the very strong Zerg from the previous series versus Zhanhun, narrowly lost to Zhanhun 1-2, but not before showing some incredible games here. Definitely going to be more of a modern style of ZVP, so it'll be interesting to see how Naida deals with that type of play, I'd say. Be pretty interesting. JeDi had that incredible game 2 versus Zhanhun where he ended up taking the game on Gladiator with a massive Lurker Hydra contain. You know, he's so far, I feel like every single game we've seen of him, it's pretty much been a very standard overpool opener into Spire, into 5-hatch Hydra, you know, not really deterring from that style of play at all. And it went really well for him. You know, he didn't versus Zhanhun, but it was still a great series nonetheless. And I'm definitely excited to see what Naida has in store to you know, try to deal with a player like JeDi's opener here. So here we go. You can see the Group A brackets here. Zhanhun going up, obviously, and knocking down JeDi to the decider match. Naida coming out of the elimination match in the series we just saw 2-0, and will be going up to face JeDi in yet another best of 3. So yeah, this should be pretty exciting here. Another ZVP, you know, from both these Chinese players. Should be very, very entertaining. I think this is going to be a little bit more standard. Like I said, both Naida and JeDi seem to have more modern styles of ZVP and PvZ. You know, this should be a pretty strong ZVP from both these players, and I'm kind of interested to see, you know, how both these players end up, you know, playing these maps out. Just given we haven't, you know, this is the first series that we've really seen on some of these maps, like Longinus, like Outsider, or Overwatch. So yeah, this is gonna be unique. All right, folks, we are ready to get into game 1 here of Naida versus JeDi on Overwatch. Overwatch, the 2-player map we've seen in the previous series. Here we go. Let's get into it. Alrighty, game 1 on Overwatch, spawning at the top left as the red Zerg. We have JeDi. And spawning at the bottom right as the blue Protoss, we have Naida. Yeah, this is gonna be a unique one. You know, I really feel like 2-player maps are quite difficult, honestly, for both players. There's no real way to hide anything. Obviously, you know, I would expect an overpool opener once again here out of JeDi. Meanwhile, Naida, I would expect almost like just a standard forge expand, which is exactly what we're seeing here. Very quick probe scout out of Naida from that natural. JeDi most likely going to be putting his pool down here in a second, which is kind of just the standard way to do it on 2-player maps if you don't want to get your natural blocked. So pool's slightly late, but we do have an overpool out of JeDi here. Naida with that probe scout moving into the main will confirm that yes, this is, you know, not a 9 pool speed or something like that. Very, very standard pylon block at the natural as well. So we'll have to wait and see here. Nothing unusual out of Naida. Forge going down at the natural. Probe looking to block this drone from taking the natural expansion before the 3rd. Oh, ooh, one runs away a little too fast there and does not get that pylon block off. So that's very nice for JeDi here. Anytime Protoss gives you, you know, your own free expansion, it's quite nice. So he sees the overpool. It's just 2 Lings in production, but obviously Naida can't know that. Looks like we have Nexus before Cannon, so we'll need to see, you know, when that cannon goes down, if he'll need to pull some additional probes to, you know, wall that off and prevent the cannon from falling. And it looks like 1 Ling will stay on the probe, 1 will move directly across the map. 3rd hatchery going to go down here any second for JeDi, and Gateway being put down for Naida at the same time. I believe this is not going to be a Spire opener because the gas is so late from JeDi that we haven't actually seen JeDi do this yet. Ooh, I like this Ling positioning. Gets right by the wall, picks off a probe even to start things off here. Very, very nice from JeDi. But yeah, as I was saying, I think this is actually going to be, you know, more of a 9-7-3 opener or maybe even 5-hatch Hydra out of JeDi, just given the gas timing. Nexus down, almost completed at the natural. Probe picking up that Zergling kill for Naida. And actually, I was wrong. This is going to be a layer first. I don't know. It just feels like the core should already be building for some reason, but it is slightly delayed, it looks like, for Naida. So maybe a Spire opener is still possible here. One or two too many drones in the main here for JeDi. Needs to transfer that to the natural. Third base is up for JeDi. And that might be a Hydroden. Nope, it's just he changed his mind. Happens all the time. Lings here should be able to catch this probe, and yep, that will prevent the final scouting here from Naida. Zealot was moving across the map, saw those Zerglings and said, nah, I'd rather go chill by the photon cannons and make fun of the probes. Third base is up, and mining here for JeDi. Drone count continues to grow. Starport in the main here for Naida. And we will be seeing Corsair shortly. Spire down behind the main in pretty good timing, I gotta say. He definitely will not have to worry about you know, maybe losing too many overlords early on to these Corsairs. That's a lot of drones, actually. That's 30 drones to 28 probes here for Protoss. I feel like Protoss is maybe missing some probes, or cutting some probes or something, just because, you know, Zerg shouldn't have that, you know, it shouldn't have a worker advantage at this point in the game. But this Zealot pressure might be able to pick off a few drones here if he's not too careful. Definitely going to be needing some more Lings here. Oh, but Protoss actually moving back. Oh no, kind of psyched himself out there. I think he actually was in a good position to maybe pick off a few more drones. But as is, Naida, you know, resecuring that worker lead at 35 to 30. JeDi climbing to that 5 hatcheries very, very quickly this game. I feel like everything on his build is on point. He maybe got away with murder, building a few more drones than he should have early, but it's going to end up paying off here. Corsair moving across the map to scout and see exactly what Zerg's up to. Obviously, we know this will be 5 hatch Spire play. Evo Chamber and Hydroden are done, which is exactly what we saw in the previous series. JeDi very, very standard in his ZVP. Isn't looking to do anything too special, just make some Corsair or Scourge to push off the Corsair and kill off these Sairs fairly quickly. Very good control there. Nice job by JeDi picking that up. And yeah, suddenly Naida in a little bit of a rough spot. Doesn't have the cannon up in the main yet to really deal with this Scourge. And Scourge moving straight to the natural, picking off another Corsair. That is huge. 4 Zealots trying to move out. Pick off a few Zerglings for their trouble. But yeah, JeDi, he's done the drone pump. There's just so many drones at this point that I don't think he needs to drone anymore anytime soon. He's already on full saturation for 3 base, and I mean, he's just going to start that Hydra pump here shortly. Wow, another good trade here against these Zealots as well. It feels like everything this game is just going in JeDi's favor. Oh, is he going to block it? Very nice block as well. Wow, JeDi playing out of his mind at the moment. 5 gateways going down in the main. Muta's in production, getting that +1 range attack and air armor at the same time as well. Hydra speed just now being researched, but it's actually going to be Muta before Hydra. This is too many drones, JeDi. This is a lot of drones. 44 drones. Muta coming in to the natural here. There is a sunken to try to defend that DT, moving to the 12 o'clock position. But yeah, it looks like JeDi going to start just picking off probes at this natural, trying to do whatever damage he can do. Oh man, all of the Corsairs falling down here. And drones continuing to fall. I think there's a DT at 12 o'clock. But didn't get much done, it looks like. JeDi with that worker lead. I keep harping on it, but it's a big deal in this matchup. Protoss really needs to have that superior worker count for efficiency here early on. And if they don't, they can definitely find themselves in a bit of a tricky situation. JeDi feeling so confident that he's taking a 4th and maybe even a 5th base. He is running away with this game at the moment. We're still mainly seeing mutas being produced. Not a ton of Hydras yet. Muta Scourge. Ooh. Okay, big connects though from this Archon. Wow, JeDi definitely has played Muta micro maps a time or two. Picking off that Archon with pure Muta. That was very, very nice. 2 Corsairs still out though for Naida, but we have Scourge being rallied across the map. That is so many drones. I mean, that is so many drones. I don't know why you need that many drones. But man, he's getting it done, I guess. It's working. JeDi with a supply lead already. No more Corsairs being produced. Oh, I guess there's just 3. Maybe he'll continue producing more. Only a single cannon in the main. I feel like this is very vulnerable to the Muta Scourge timing. And yeah, Muta moving into the main now. Recognize that it's just a single cannon and dive right on that. Scourge moving to those Sairs. But the Goons are doing a great job picking those Scourge off. Well done here from Naida. But wow, just so many Scourge running in still. Find another connect and remove another Corsair. I mean, at some point, Naida's just got to get on the map and try to do some kind of pressure. If he stays in his base too much longer, it could be over. Ooh, nice pick off on that Templar. Final Corsair falls once again. And yeah, this is just a lot of Zealot versus Muta. Some Dragoons, 1 Templar. You know, Probe's not even really able to mine the main yet. There's no cannon down in the main, which is going to delay Naida's move out even further. So many drones. Unreal amount of drones here. Mutas are in a good position to counter-attack the main should Naida move out. Naida's going to need some more Archons or Corsairs just to try to survive this. We do have 2 cannons in the main and a High Templar now. So, you know, who knows? One big storm, he might be able to remove this Mutaflock. 5 Dragoons in the main, that's enough to chase off JeDi for the moment. JeDi producing more and more Mutalisks. As we know, he's on this 5 bases, putting down additional macro hatcheries and sunkens to kind of secure his position. Ooh, cannon going down at the natural. I don't think there's any more Corsair, so it's really on to the Storm Dragoon to try to hold, defend this base, which is going to be quite difficult. Zealots moving around to the south side of the map, looking to get some type of counter pressure on, but the Mutas are all over it, running straight to those Zealots, looking to try to prevent any damage from being done to his robust economy. Okay, Probe moving down to the south side of the map as well, looking to get a X-Bro here. Dragoons getting on top of these Mutas, but Muta's already picking off a couple Dragoons, 3 Dragoons, 4 Dragoons. Ooh, Storm going down, but not a big hit. Man, so many Dragoons just falling. He has a big flock of Scourge as well, but there's just no more Corsairs remaining. 77 drone count from JeDi. I mean, he's just making the most of this situation. We're seeing him up 164 supply to 127. Protoss can barely afford a 3rd Nexus. And we're seeing Zerglings as well being rallied across the map. Hive with Adrenal is complete. And it's pretty much all Ling Muta out of JeDi at this point. Mito moving into this natural, picking off the 2 remaining cannons. Ooh, a little bit of a self-storm there from Naida, moving some of those probes. And yeah, Dragoon's kind of coming in. Big Ling counter will kill this third. I mean, it's just too far gone at this point. If you're Protoss, there's just no way to really trade efficiently. He's just spread too thin. And yeah, G is called there from Naida. Well played from JeDi, taking game 1. It was a game, it happened. Man, JeDi ran away from, with that series. It felt like I was questioning how heavily he was droning early on, but man, he made it work. There was just so much pressure with the Muta that Naida really couldn't mount any type of a counterattack. It was very, very well played there from JeDi, and he definitely ran away with that game. All Muta Ling, too. It's very unorthodox. It's very not meta, not standard, so I'm kind of interested to see if maybe, this is something he'd choose to play for like a game 2, or if maybe he's just kind of doing that to throw Naida off. It's going to be a little interesting here to see. Because Naida is down that 0-1 once again, he will have choice of map in this best of 3 series, so it'll be a little interesting to see what map he ends up going with here. We only really have got to see... sorry, what was it? Okay. It'll be Butter. I think this is a great map selection for PvZ. We saw it in the previous series. There's just a lot of counterattack pathways, 2 entrances to each base. Just a lot of room to really maneuver around Zealot timings, Dark Templar, Corsair. So yeah, I think this is a great selection, and definitely shows Naida's most likely played this map a few times. So, alright folks, let's get into game 2 here of JeDi versus Naida. Here we go. Alright, spawning at the top right as the blue Protoss, it is Naida. And spawning at the bottom right as the red Zerg, we have JeDi. Alright, Butter. When I think of this map, the kind of the interesting, qualities are the natural distances are surprisingly far apart, it feels like. You don't see a whole lot of gateway openers on this map. You obviously can, but I would say it's not favorable usually. Maybe a 2-gate opener or something like that. And also because of this, I feel like drone scouting is sometimes a little more optional on this map. That Overlord is sometimes good enough, but it won't quite get there quick enough to catch anything scary. Overpool down in the main for JeDi, as expected. He's done this every single game. If it's not broke, no reason to fix it. Forge going down at the natural here, no probe scout. So Naida really maybe just kind of metaing himself here, like changing his build up, trying to optimize the mining. He has thrown off JeDi the previous game with the earlier scout, so maybe he's just looking to kind of change it up here. JeDi looking to take his natural with his drone here. And yep, he gets his second hatchery down at the natural. Naida going Nexus before cannon. This seems to be the way to open versus Forge. 2 Lings in production just to kind of poke off any probes that might be wandering in to scout or harass. And then JeDi also sending a drone out to take his third. Very standard timing. We'll have to see when this gas goes down in the main. Usually if it's before 245, it could indicate Spire play. or early Spire, layer into Spire, and if it's after that, it could just be Hydra. So yeah, we see, quick enough gas before third hatchery there. This is most likely once again going to be Spire opener out of JeDi. Cannon just about to complete. And one Ling sneaks in. I really like that control from JeDi. This Ling is just going to be kind of annoying. He'll be able to only harass the natural, I feel like, mineral line a little bit. He might force some lost mining time, but, that's good enough. Ooh, Probe's doing some quick damage to it. Pick it off immediately, so no value, really, out of that for JeDi, fortunately. But it's fine, just a single Zergling. He does have his third base on the way. We're up at that 16 supply mark, so should be producing an Overlord out of the main at the moment. And yeah, we're just going to see standard droning from here. Naida, however, getting that pylon inside the main. Wall off is complete at the natural. I think he's already put his core down at the natural as well. Yep. So Cyber Core opener. Pretty great. Good timing. Good standard opener here out of Naida, as you'd expect. Not getting +1 on the forge quite yet, so this will be probably a quicker port. Second gas feels like it's quite early for Naida. Zerg content with droning, building a few more Lings here just to potentially help out against any Zealot openers, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that here this game. Stargate down inside the main. JeDi scouting for and finding that second gas. So what that does say is this is not going to be any type of a 2-gate pressure opener. Zealot did find a way to slip out onto the map though, but we do have Zerglings at the ready and a second Zealot even moving into the natural. We do have Zergling speed, so they shouldn't get a whole lot of damage done. And yeah, more Zerglings sitting and waiting for this Zealot at the natural. This will do absolutely nothing. And now JeDi should just be free to drone. Stargate completed for Naida. Corsair on the way. Second cannon down in the main as well. Spire halfway completed for JeDi. Looks like we're going to see the fourth hatchery going down at the natural here in a second. +1 air weapon being produced for Naida as well. And JeDi going to scout that Citadel. The Honorable Overlord just sitting, awaiting his doom in the main. Trying to scout for as long as possible before he dies. Second gas going down here for JeDi. This is just textbook. It's exactly what he's been doing each and every game. 5 hatchery, Spire, Hydra opener. Actually, that's not fair. Last game he ended up going Muta. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe he does more of the same. Maybe he's recognized a weakness in Naida, or maybe he'll go back to more of his standard that we were seeing against Zhanhun. Corsair did pick off the Overlord in the main, is going to scout inside JeDi's main now. Sees the Spire completed, backs up immediately, and JeDi content to just drone for the moment. Ooh, JeDi with some very nice Scourge. I gotta say, he's been doing a great job of cutting these Corsairs off before they can retreat home. Scouts the main, sees a cannon in production, more Corsairs being produced, and then goes up towards the natural, sees another cannon being produced, and then is just content with just backing out. And he's seen the gateway count, he's seen the Citadel, he's seen everything he can, really, with those two there. Third gas already complete for JeDi, so this is going to be more of the same. This is, to be honest, it feels a little greedy. Some Zealot pressure openers could do damage to this, but I guess the Overlord inside the main did end up seeing the second gas earlier, so he might just know that's not really an option here for Naida. Muta's in production, so this will be more of the same. Wow, a lot of Scourge being produced. Got a giant flock of Scourge, actually. Zealots are moving out here. More Corsairs in production. I think this is only 6 Zealots, so this shouldn't do the most damage, honestly. Wow, more Sunkens and Creep Colonies even going down here. Zerg's kind of done a lot of econ damage to himself by producing so many Sunkens at this point in the game, I feel like, but you know, at least he's not going to end up taking any damage from these Zealot harass. Ooh, 4 Templars already out here for Naida. I wonder if he's going to plan on morphing an Archon. Yep, we see the Archon there. We see a lot of Muta, a lot of Scourge moving across the map now for JeDi. And this looks like the timing he wants to hit. Beelining straight into the main. Muta's diving on that cannon. Corsairs about to fight a lot of Scourge, but good surrounding so far from JeDi. Just content with killing as many probes as he can. Oh my gosh, they all got erased. And now it's an Archon fighting against a Muta squadron here. I mean, as long as this is controlled well from JeDi, he should not be able to lose these Muta. Templar going down. There's still plenty of Scourge remaining. Muta's in the main still, catching some probes being transferred, but big Zealot timing, hitting the natural. It's actually big enough that JeDi feels like he's got to pull these Muta back. Great drone drill, though. Zealots are just trapped, trying to get any damage they can done. But you know what? JeDi was just prepared for this one. I was just complaining about how many Sunkens I feel like he made, but they, you know, there's a reason for it. Archon getting on top of these Muta, finally getting a little bit of damage done. Big storm going down, but High Templar does fall. Muta getting a few more shots here. Another wasted storm, unfortunately, and more Zealots once again streaming into this natural, trying to get any damage they can done. But it's just not enough. There's just so many drones once again here for JeDi. 50 workers to 33 of Naida. I feel like once again JeDi's just starting to run away with this game economically. Dragoons finally moving out, starting to pressure away those Muta a little bit. There's still no cannon in the main, so Naida's main mineral line is a little vulnerable. He's gonna be forced to kind of sit back for a little bit before he's able to really put on any pressure of his own once again, but that's just allowing JeDi to drone up at this point. JeDi is up by 30 supply. Not as surprising because he's so Muta heavy, and Mutas obviously are a little more supply intensive, but still it's surprising to see that. Looks like we have Dragoons moving out onto the map. They'll get a free Overlord here. Muta's looking to move back in, maybe pick off a Templar or some Dragoons. Naida's got to be thinking third base. He's got to get a third base down at this point if he wants to continue playing. 2 cannons in the main. Probes being forced to pull. 1 cannon going down. And probes are starting to fall once again. I mean, JeDi's just doing so well with these Mutalisks. Just really pulling Naida around, forcing him out of position. If you remember last time, this is exactly what he did in order to cancel Naida's third. So he would do these Muta flybys and then would move in with a group of Zerglings to cancel a third base. And yes, Overlord does scout that that is exactly what Naida intends to do. Take a third base and try to continue with this. Dragoon's trying to move into position, but that's a lot of Muta. Ooh, Templar. Nice dodge once again from JeDi. just showing phenomenal Muta control here. And really just taking a dominant position in this game. More Hydras in production. There's just a massive army of Hydralists out on the map now. Six hatcheries up, 7th at the, actually even an 8th one building at the 4th base here for JeDi. But he's just kind of content with diving around and sharking with these mutas, trying to see what he can pick off, forcing more cannons. Wow, picking off the probes on gas even. This is just textbook ZVP here from JeDi. More probes falling here at the natural. Just doing whatever you can to hinder that gas production here from Naida, and also just pulling these Dragoons around the map. JeDi has taken a 50 supply lead, building more and more mutas now, trying to replenish this muta flock, and it's just pure muta Hydra versus Dragoon, Zealot, Templar here, Archon. All right. Oh, nice pick off. Doing a great job picking off these Templar here. Muta are still alive. Starting to harass this mineral line at the 3rd. Oh no, there's not a cannon in the mineral line. He can continually do this for a while. Man, JeDi just looks so dominant here. This is very well played. Ooh, good storm though. These Muta are definitely gonna have to retreat. I say that, and he actually just stays inside the main. I mean, this is what happens really when there's not a big Corsair flock. You have to get Corsairs in modern PvZ, I feel like. Or Zerg can kind of just bully you with mutas. So once again, we're really just seeing Naida, he just can't even really move out on the map. And we've got so many Hydralists at play outside the natural here for JeDi. Once again, moving in with yet another group of Muta Scourge. Muta's sitting over that natural, poised, ready to attack. Do start targeting down the cannon. That cannon will fall in 3 volleys. And once again, Naida is just, anytime he tries to get out on the map, there's just these Muta counter. The Muta counter constantly. Robo being produced at the natural, but it gets scouted. I mean, at one point, you just go attack if you're Naida. You just gotta do something. And nothing with these mutas has been going well. Alright, that is a lot of Templar. And remember, I don't even think we saw a single lurker, so if it's just pure Hydra, maybe with enough good storms we got a chance here. But that is a lot of Hydralisks. He's not even going to engage the army, he's just going to counter. I did not expect this, but it's going to work. That is just so much Zerg moving across the map. Big storm going down here. Muta's getting on top of these Templar. Oh my gosh, big storms going down on top of all of these Templar. And every single Templar will end up going down here. I mean, even if Naida kills the 4th here, I don't think JeDi minds. There's just so many Hydralists here, and there's really nothing to fight them left. G is called yet again from Naida, and JeDi takes the series in a very convincing 2-0. That was just textbook Muta Hydra ZVP from JeDi. What a strong showing, honestly, from him. He will end up moving on, and yeah, unfortunately, Naida does fall. Played some very incredible games earlier on in the series, but just wasn't quite tough enough to take down good old JeDi. So JeDi does move on to the round of 12, and obviously along with Zhanhun, who had a very dominant showing this series as well. And yeah, this is it. These are the brackets. This is the results of Group A. I gotta say, I think it went about as expected. I feel like I, was expecting Zhanhun to come out on top of this this group anyways. He's had a very strong showing in the last season of BSL and looks to be performing very strongly here so far as well. So hats off to both Zhanhun and JeDi for making out of such a tough group. And yeah, definitely got to be looking forward to watching these two play in the next round here. Oh, and Naida is also advancing as well, but to a loser bracket. So the three of them will be moving on. SoSo being the only player to not make it out of the group, but still had some pretty entertaining games here for us, and yeah, had a great showing. So hats off to these players, and definitely looking forward to watching them in the next series. Yeah, so I think that's going to be it here for BSL Starleague Asia Group A. I think we're also going to be doing the same cast at the exact same time tomorrow for Group B as well. If you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, make sure you click that follow button here on Trovo. And actually, in order to get ready for BSL season 16, if you can spare some donations, we would definitely like to make BSL 16 happen. Obviously, this can't happen without you folks, so make sure to support if you can. By tuning in, by throwing your bucks our way. We really appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in time after time, and honestly just keeping foreign StarCraft alive. So thank you all so much. Thanks for tuning in, listen to me ramble here and talk about our favorite game. So thank you all for having me.